Football night in Riverside, the Trojans of Hillcrest and the Rams of Ramona under the Friday night lights. It's an old River Valley League matchup being renewed in a non-league setting. Good evening. Ghazal Hassan back with you along with the great Jeff Gorham. We are here at Arlington High School, and your alma mater, Jeff. Ken Mashinsky, the head coach of Ramona, he's led his team to 8 straight wins, including a state championship last year. They're off to a 2-0 start this year, and let me tell you something. Sincere Tolbert did not miss a beat. He missed the game against North. He rolled out of bed last week, 227 yards, 4 touchdowns. That is a force on the running game.
I'll tell you what, that is a force, but I'll tell you what, you have Shiner, who has been dynamic at the quarterback position. They have just rebuilt and reloaded, and they are going to be something to reckon with against this Hillcrest Trojans team.
Flipping over to Travis Carter's squad, who is also 2-0 to start the season, 2 straight wins to open 2024. Their new quarterback, Jeff, Matt Ramos, he threw for 5 touchdowns in week 0. Last week, to follow that up, 214 yards rushing and 3 rushing touchdowns. He's going to be a problem for that Ramona defense to handle.
Well, I'll tell you what, we saw that Ramona defense early in the year. The first game of the year, they were phenomenal against that North offense, but they're going to have a whole different matchup with that very, very mobile quarterback.
As the great Jedi Master Yoda once said, always 2 there are. Not more, not less. There's a master and there's an apprentice, and we have fun with the matchup between Coach Mashinsky and Travis Carter. Coach Mashinsky once coached Travis Carter. How do you think that plays out this evening, Jeff?
Well, I think it's fun. You talk to a lot of coaches that have been in this situation, and it's rough. But these two guys like each other, and I'll tell you what. Travis Carter has learned so much from Ken Mashinsky, and you see it the way he coaches. His kids are fundamental, a lot like Ramona, so it will be fun to watch. A very good game here on Riverside TV.
It's the Rams and the Trojans coming up next, the CIF on Riverside TV. Sorry about that little bit of a delay. The band presenting the colors and playing the Star-Spangled Banner as we're about to get underway. Ghazal Hassan back with you along with Jeff Gore. We got Nick Rice. Finally get a Nick Rice sighting on the sidelines. Let's introduce you to the third member of our broadcast team. We'll send it down to the sideline. All right, so I don't know if we can hear Nick or not, so I'm going to break in here. Ramona has won the toss. Ramona will get the ball to start. They're 2-0 to start the year, Jeff, as is Hillcrest. So this is an old River Valley League matchup. For those who don't know, and I'm sure most people do, but just in case, Hillcrest now in the Sun Belt League. That's a little bit of a change.
Yeah, a big change. In fact, these two teams, they've been so familiar with each other the last, 10-plus years in the River Valley League. It's nice to see these two guys playing each other in non-league. Like you said, one was the head coach, one was a player for head coach Ken Mashinsky. This is going to be a fun game to watch. I love that they're keeping the rivalry alive.
Yeah, and it's cool. I think both coaches, part of also is, hey, you're going to get a good game. I think we're going to have a good one tonight, Jeff. So I could be wrong about that, but I think this is going to be an extremely competitive match. But from a logistical standpoint, you don't need to, travel. You're playing a team cross town. All the kids kind of know each other, grow up playing junior All-American together, and set off to their own high schools. And it's a great atmosphere. Now, the unfortunate thing for Hillcrest, they don't have their own field yet. Hopefully that'll be in good time. But the good people at Arlington working things out with Travis Carter and the Hillcrest Trojans. So, as we know, that Hillcrest and Norte Vista and La Sierra all play on the same field, the Alvord District at Zach Erb Stadium. But the interesting thing is, this week all three teams were scheduled to play at home. So Hillcrest had a choice. They either play on Saturday and make a call. They made the call. The people at Arlington were gracious enough to allow them to play here, and we have football on Friday, Jeff.
You got to love it, and I'll tell you what, this is such a nice stadium built, I believe, 3 years. This is the third year. Third year. We were here for the very first game, and what a great opportunity to see two crosstown rivals on a neutral field.
Yeah, the uniforms you see for Hillcrest donated by the National Guard, and now I do believe in earnest we have Nick Rice down on the field. All right, again, we're gonna kick off anyway, so we'll wait till after the kickoff. After the kickoff, we'll throw it down to Nick Rice. So setting up for the kickoff is Arlington. And you'll get to meet a new kicker today, Jeff. I know how much you love kickers.
I love kickers. Kickers are people, too.
Alegria.
What? Don Alegria?
Adon Alegria. It was a soccer player converted to a football player. And I already like Adon Alegria because he reminds me of the great giant Raul Alegre.
I do like that.
I think Alegre played with the Colts, too.
And it also sounds like when you have your allergy, sounds like a good allergy medicine. Let's see if he can be that medicine. Huh? See what I'm saying there?
Troy Long back deep to receive for Ramona, along with Isaac Mata, the sophomore.
Great to see you, Gasol. This is game 2 of our 3 games this week on Riverside TV. And look at everybody's in camouflage. You can only see helmets.
Yeah, I can barely see the ball.
You can't see it. You just see white pants and a helmet.
The speckled blues for Ramona, and we mentioned the jerseys donated by the National Guard. I think Nick Rice has a couple of notes on them when we go down to him. We're not? Right. We're gonna. Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, that's what I was saying. After the kickoff, Nick will have something on the uniforms, hopefully. Alegria with the approach. Right foot, a little bit of a short kick. Feel it at the 25-yard line. That's Sincere Tolbert, the up back. Tolbert over the 35 at the 37-yard line. So about a 12-yard return. And 1st and 10, good field position for Ramona, led by Cody Shiner, calling the controls in the huddle. We talked in the open about Sincere Tolbert last week against Arlington, ran up 227 yards, 4 touchdowns, already the 12th career 100-yard game of his career.
And I'll tell you what, I sure do love Cody Shiner.
All right, we're going to go tempo. We're going to go to Nick Rice here, but they're going a little bit of tempo. We'll go maybe between 1st and 2nd. Here's Shiner. Tolbert coming into motion. Here's the handoff to Dylan Tolbert trying to turn the corner. And down he goes, gets over the 40-yard line, about the 42. Now we'll throw it down to Nick Rice.
I'm Nick Rice. So Bo Bruins in 2021 did almost the unthinkable, running for over 2,000 yards en route to a big playoff run for Ramona. 2 years later, now Sincere Tolbert's their bell cow, and one of the most incredible feats was nearly beaten by Sincere last year. He ran just 48 yards short of 2,000 and is on pace for nearly 3,000, granted a small sample size, but Sincere should be every bit as good as Bo Bruins for Ramona if he keeps this up. Guys,
here's
back to
Tolbert running over the right side. He'll be close to a first down. Tackle on the play made by Miguel Mejinas. He's an interesting story for Hillcrest. The ball up over the 45 to the 46-yard line, so 3rd down and short coming up.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Noah Mayweather and Zaya Guerrero for the defense for Hillcrest.
3rd and 2 from the shotgun. Shiner calling his own number. He'll get outside. 1st down. Traverses into Hillcrest territory, finally run out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Closest man to him was Jacob McDowell, kind of escorting him out of bounds. Flags coming in on the play. Let's see.
It's going to be a hold. Is. I saw the hold. It looked like it would be on Dylan Tolbert on that end around here. Let's see if we call it. Yes, that is correct. There's a hold.
Speaking of our officials today, that's our white hat James Schmidt, Umpire is DJ Jones. Head linesman Armando Amaro. Get another look at that play. Larry Pfister, the line judge, and your good buddy, the back judge, Ken Bucarau.
Ken Bucarau, longtime basketball coach at Rubidoux High School. We've seen him on some of the RCC games. Does some JC football, so great to see Coach Bucarau.
So after the penalty, 3rd and 4, Dylan Tolbert in the far slot. Well, trips to the top of the formation. Also up there is Lorenzo Sims. Split out to the far side is Troy Long. Isaac Mata split out to the near side. Tolbert, the setback. Sims, little movement. They'll give the ball to Sincere Tolbert right up the middle. Ridden down after the first down at midfield. Again, making the tackle, Miguel Mejenez, the senior. Transfer from Corona Centennial, where he played last year.
And talking before the game, you and I were discussing, hey, what does Ramona going to have to do, to beat this Hillcrest team? And you said it. They're going to try to use a lot of Sincere Tolbert.
I mean, listen,
they're going to force.
He ran for 227 yards last week, 4 touchdowns. You don't have Sinatra in the band and have him play the drums, Jeffrey. Shiner looking up top, pulls it down. Now he's going to go for it all down the right side. One-on-one coverage and incomplete. Bumping one-on-one, Roberto Lozano on the coverage. He was one-on-one with Troy Long. Good shot taken by Ken Mashinsky, 2nd down.
You gotta like that. A lot of time. That tells you something right there with the offensive line from Ramona. Shiner had all day in the world, as you see here, stepping back. I'm not too sure about that one sock thing. I'm gonna have to talk to his mom and dad about that.
Of course, Cody's mom is Ramona Hall of Famer Lauren Shiner, longtime softball coach. 2nd down and 10 from midfield. 4 receivers in the set. They'll throw again on 2nd down. Same route on the outside, incomplete. Dylan Tolbert, the intended receiver. Lozano on the coverage as well. 3rd and 10 coming up.
And we've seen Ramona. They've aired it out many times over the years under the Ken Mashinsky era. Or is it era? I mean, I've been watching a lot of Taylor Swift.
G-Funk era.
Is it era?
Warren
Era?
G. Remember we were talking about Warren G yesterday.
Warren G, my guy out in the fee.
3rd and 10. Blitz showing. Here comes pressure. Middle of the field, incomplete. Joshua Mason calling up the blitz and brings up 4th down.
So 3 tosses in a row, all going fairly deep here.
The penalty really kind of derailed the drive, and we'll see the punt team come on. Kellen McAllister, who's definitely home, by the way.
He's home alone. Kevin McAllister.
Kellen.
It's always Kellen. Okay, Kellen. I love Kevin, though. Can I call him Kevin? His parents
Macaulay Culkin, right?
Macaulay Culkin.
Juju Sandoval deep to receive the kick. Bounces at about the 30-yard line. It's going to roll dead. Takes a great bounce for Ramona at the 5-yard line. So a 45-yard kick, no return. And starting at the 5-yard line will be the Trojans of Hillcrest.
Now, we've seen Ram High in one game so far this year. We've yet to see the Trojans, but I have seen him in film. Boy, their quarterback is fun to watch. If you are watching at home, he is quicker than a June bug in what month are we in? September.
When the crawdads sing.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. That's a bad reference.
That was a bad.
Matthew Ramos is the quarterback, the junior. He's a dual threat quarterback. And let's see what wrinkles they have drawn up. Travis Carter, the head coach, calls the offense. Ramos, we mentioned 5 touchdown passes the opening week. And then he ran for 3 touchdowns last week. Here's the completion to Shaw. Shaw gets the ball from the 20s out to the 25-yard line. Now, it looks like they moved the ball up a little bit.
Great screen pass there.
So complete up to the 26. Should be a first down. They move. Sticks are kind of off. Well, I guess not a first down. So they're going to up to the 26-yard line. First down up to the 29. So a 7-yard pickup on the play. And now, they got to figure this out. The sticks, I think, were off. Oh, it's delay a game.
Wow.
So encroachment, another penalty on Ramona. So already 2 penalties on Ram High.
That is not a staple for Ramona. They usually don't commit too many silly penalties, and here they are.
So move it up to the 32. 1st and 10, line is the 32. Ramos, here comes pressure. Luis Mena, intended for Shaw, incomplete on the coverage for Ramona is Angel Barrios. 2nd and 10 coming up. Get a look at Angel Barrios there, the senior. There's Nicholas Shaw, the junior. No score as of yet. Just underway here. Well, I guess 5 minutes, almost 5 minutes in.
It was only 111 today, Gazal.
I had 113 driving
Ooh.
in. Ramos dumps it off. It's complete to the 35, up over the 40 to the 42, close to a first down. That is Juju Sandoval making the catch.
And how nice is it to see Julian Sandoval healthy? He's got the good flow hanging out the back. He looks like he's in the 70s hairband. Looked like he could be in Poison. Were you a Poison guy?
I was.
Were you really?
I was. Loved it. I was going to say title song, but that wouldn't work for a family audience. So it was a first down up to the 42, give him 10 yards on the play. And here's Alfredo Vences. Gets to the second level, brought down in Ramona territory. So up to the 44-yard line. 14-yard pickup for Vences, running very low to the ground and moving the sticks for Hillcrest.
Remember, Vences last year had 9 touchdowns. And
9!
9! We've had that 2 nights in a row. And 1,000 yards.
McGowan nearly got to him, but Vences kind of cuts it back up inside. Finally ridden down by Luis Mena. 1st and 10. Line is the 44 of Ramona. The quick throw over the middle, it's complete. Tackle on the play made by Isaac Mesa. Catching the ball was Hudson Nguyen.
And watch big 55, Jose Beltran. He is really the stalwart, the staple.
Playing center. He was tackle most of his career for a 2-year starter. Ramos rolling to his left. Over the middle, incomplete. Sandoval, the intended target, incomplete.
Ramos slapping himself in the chest. I think he probably had some room there to get to the outside and maybe get to that first down, as you see here on the replay.
Luis Mena does a great job there, but good staying with it. The block, I believe that was Nicholas Shaw who's blocking Mena.
It was
We had a good talk with Ahmad Noor, who's the wide receiver coach for Hillcrest, about receivers blocking. And he says, I don't show them their catches in film. I show them the blocks. So that'll be on a film session on Monday.
Yeah, it was a great talk with him, how he coaches his receivers.
Mena has Ramos, and he'll spin him down. I believe he'll maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage. But Luis Mena was in there quickly against Matt Ramos. And as you mentioned, as quick as Ramos is, you need to be quick to catch him.
And we've seen Ramona. We saw in that first game, they were just so quick and really went through that line of North like Swiss cheese.
Trips to
Or
the top of the
Munster.
screen.
Munster, very soft.
Shaw split out to the near side. Ramos looks back. Looks like a 3-man front for Ramona. Actually, McGowan standing up on the near side. They throw to that side. It's complete to the 15. Making the catch, Nicholas Shaw. Coverage, Iniola Olawui for Ramona. It'll be a first down.
And a great throw leading the receiver there, going inside.
That's a good matchup on the outside. Shaw's a tough assignment, but Olawui, very good cover corner for Ramona.
They were in a man here last. Now they're still sticking man-to-man here on the outside on the receivers.
1st and 10 from the 16. Vences trying to cut up to the 10 where he's knocked down. Troy Long getting up from the bottom of the pile, giving him some help on the tackle was Raymond Ceballos. So Vences, his second run, gets 5 yards. He has 2 carries for 19 yards. from the 11, it's 2nd and 5. A little bit of a high snap. Vences takes it, angling to the right side. McGowan was the first one to make contact, so he'll be submarined down at about the 6, close to a first down, and they say he got it. Good mix of throwing and passing on this drive, Jeff.
Yeah, and it's really because of that offensive line for Hillcrest. They're making some big holes here, especially against that four-man front.
Vences, again, gets a couple of yards. That'll make it 6 passes and 5 runs on this drive. Maybe a yard or 2 on the play.
Now, we have seen Ken Mashinsky over the years with great ball control on series, but man, right now Travis Carter holding the ball here for quite a while, getting some success on offense.
The master and the apprentice. Here's Vences squirting inside. He's still pushing. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillcrest. The Trojans find pay dirt. Alfredo Vences from 3 yards out.
If we're grading this, the lines tonight so far, the big boys up front for Hillcrest pushing around the Rams. Advantage, Hillcrest.
The big boys up front, as Jeff mentioned, Gabe Vallejo, Isaiah Davis, Jose Beltran, Noah Zuniga, even Quiros. Quiros had the big block on that play. And again, the most popular man in Riverside in Jeff Gorham's house, Adon Alegria, the place kicker for Hillcrest, back out there to try to make this a 7-0 ball game.
I have an extra room in my house. Anybody that wants to become a kicker, I'll rent a room to them. They can kick in my backyard. I'll put up a fence.
Oh, very cool. Kickers camp.
I'll have Frank Corral come over and teach him.
Alegria swings the right leg and it goes through. 7-0, 4:02 to play in the first quarter. Ghazal Hassan, Jeff Gorham with you. I was going to throw it down to the sideline, but I see Nick Rice not ready. So we'll watch the replay here. Nice mix, nice play calling. I give credit.
Yeah, Travis Carter held the ball there for quite a while.
Yeah, Quiros wearing 68 today. He was the guy at the end kind of finishing off the coup de grace, so to speak, on that play. And I thought this was going to be a good one when we started, Jeff. Two teams, both 2-0, both playing well. Both can put points on the board. It's going to be about players making plays.
And and Travis Carter did say his biggest question coming into this season was he thought they might be a little thin up front, but so far,
not a lot of depth. I mean, he likes the guys he has up there, but somebody's not playing well or somebody's a little banged up. He's a little concerned that they do have young guys they can move in there. Not quite sure they're ready for the Friday night, the spotlight of Friday night. Alegria kicks it off. Mata will field it at about the 15. Veering up to the 35, dancing to the outside, across the 40 now, and nice return up to the 48, so a 33-yard return there. And you saw Isaac Mata play last year as a freshman, and you were telling me about him last year.
Well, I was just going to say he is the next man up. You had, the great Bo Bruins, Sincere Tolbert, and I think that next guy up is going to be Isaac Mata. I saw him as a freshman and didn't play varsity last year. Coach Mush kept him down with a very, very good freshman team. He got so many reps, and the game I saw him, I said he was the most talented freshman, varsity JV freshman, any level. He just has great balance, speed, and really, as you watch him, a great eye for the game. He is fun to watch. He is somebody that I would pay how much does it cost? $8 to come watch a high school football game. I pay at $8 to watch him all day long.
Shiner with the keeper. He'll cross into Arlington to Hillcrest territory. So a 3-yard pickup there by Shiner to bring up second down. So 6 passes and 6 runs on that drive, a 12-play drive that took 84 yards for the touchdown.
I'm a little surprised the first series we saw Ramona go deep 3 times in a row. I thought we'd see a heavy dose of Tolbert.
Second down. He must have. Oh, there's going to be Shiner keeping it.
Shiner dancing outside 45, 40, first down. Run out of bounds. They'll mark him to the 37-yard line.
Troy Long with a nice block there to get those extra yards there for Shiner.
11-yard pickup there for Cody Shiner. 2 runs for him for 14 yards. 1st and 10 for Ramona. Troy Long split out to the near side. This time they'll give it to Tolbert right up the middle, and he'll run headlong right into the center of that defense. First man there for Hillcrest looked like Ivan Padilla got his nose in there. So a couple of yards on the play for Tolbert. He's got 11 yards on 3 carries. Little movement up front for Hillcrest. Here's the throw. And there'll be a flag on the play. Tangled up. Troy Long, the intended receiver, he got tangled up a little bit with Ethan Ramirez, and I think they're going to throw the flag on Hillcrest. This will be the first penalty assessed on the Trojans. 15-yarder will bring the ball to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, and Shiner really taking advantage of this coverage here. A lot of pushing and shoving. Keep throwing the football.
I don't think that was a case of Ramirez making a play. I just think he didn't. You know, they tell you on your know your man on the ball, right? Know the ball, know the man. I think Ramirez got a little bit crossed up. I think he could have made a play on the ball. From the 21, it's a first down. And Lorenzo Sims. Now, so that just shows you. So I have not seen Troy Terrell out there, who's the converted basketball player playing football. So Sims normally a running back. They're moving back to the slot, and I'm sure he practiced all week, but there are just certain things that are innate. You know, when you play running back your whole life, and now they're splitting you out a little bit. And running back should be able to split out. And Sims had such a great week that first week against North. So mark off the 3rd penalty against the Rams. It'll back it off 5 yards to the 26. Still first down. Tolbert, and how do you do? Miguel Mijanes making the play.
Wow. Those guys up front on both sides of the football, Gasol, we always talk about the skilled guys. Well, those skilled guys are right up front tonight.
Mijanes, the transfer from Corona Centennial. Let's look at the play again. And he just gets there. He got a beat on number 30. He'll drop him for about a 3-yard loss. Gets a little bit of help from Robert Bustamante at the end of the play. So a 4-yard loss officially, 2nd and 19. Ball back to the 28. And now we see Troy Terrell in there, split out to the far side. On the near side is Troy Long. In the near slot, Dylan Tolbert. Here's Shiner to throw, looking up top. Middle of the field, diving and coming up with it is Long, or do they say incomplete?
Dropped it at the last second.
So couldn't hold on to it. 3rd down coming up.
They're going to have to throw the ball here again with 3rd and 19.
Or do they?
I would imagine so. I mean, they've been stymied so far on the run. They are getting some looks. I mean, that was a pretty darn good pass. Just a little bit in front.
Good coverage down the field. 3rd and 19 coming up. 3 receivers bunched to the top of the formation, and there's some movement up front for Hillcrest. So 2nd penalty on the Trojans will give 5 more yards. Make it a little bit easier for Ramona. 3rd and 14 now. And again, the heat an issue tonight, although it's a little bit cooler, I think, than it was last night, Jeff.
Yeah, it was really hot. Still very warm. Just don't get me wrong.
Shiner to the outside. Complete to about the 12-yard line. It'll be short of the first down.
They got to bring in the kicker.
16-yard completion. Maybe you go for it here. First completion for Shiner.
Plenty of time left in this ballgame, but I
Yeah.
think they're going to go for it. Oh, they gave him the first. Big play by the Rams. Extra effort by Troy Long there.
Oh, that's true. It was the 14. Yeah, they didn't change it on. That's what they didn't change it on the scoreboard. It still said 28. They moved the ball up 5 yards, and now Tolbert looks like he's going to go to the bench. So Sims will take his place in the backfield. Helmet comes off. Doesn't look like an injury. I mean, did his helmet come? Maybe I know when your helmet comes off, you got to leave for a play.
It looks like they're doing some maintenance.
So first down, Ramona. So 1st and 10 from the 11. So keep the drive alive. Big 3rd down conversion for them. 7-0 Hillcrest here. Shiner, throw. Near side. Complete. Troy Long again sitting down at about the 3-yard line. So about an 8-yard completion. Second reception for Long. 2 for 6 through the air is Shiner for 24 yards. First, they can still get a first down at the 1-yard line, so call it 2nd and 3. Long to the near side, Tolbert back in. Tolbert and Sims both in the backfield. Little misdirection, and nobody fooled anybody. Beltran right there on top of Sincere Tolbert. Lost back to the 6.
I'll tell you what, Tolbert has had his way so far in his first game coming back, but he is not tonight. He has been denied.
Yep. So it looks like they're going to let the quarter tick down. No, they're going to run a play here. Long to the near side. Tolbert and Terrell to the far side. Now Sims in motion. Option. Shiner going to keep it. And a good play. Swallowed up and the ball comes loose. Who's got it? Looks like Ramona kept it, but they lost back to about the 9-yard line. And that's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Hillcrest will come back with the 4th down play for Ramona and throw it down to Nick Rice.
So Hillcrest throughout the entire first quarter, the only thing they were talking about on the sideline was to hold the blocks and make sure you keep contained up front. Considering Ramona's one of the bigger offensive and defensive lines in the league, that seems to be where the game is won. We just saw on the tail end of the first quarter, the defensive line from Hillcrest did their part as they lead it by 7. Guys, back to you.
They marked it officially back to the 8-yard line, Jeff. So a pretty good first quarter for Hillcrest.
Well, I thought Hillcrest, they just outplayed the Rams. I don't know if the Rams came out a little flat, but I'll tell you what, the defense and offensive line for Hillcrest has been very good so far in this game.
So here's that last play that we saw. Here's Shiner dancing to the outside. And again, Terrell doing a nice job blocking. And coming over, I want to say that was Lozano coming over to make the play. And the ball actually rolled out of bounds at the 11. So it's going to be 4th down and 10. And who are they going to bring in? Jose Martinez to attempt a field goal. This will be about a 28-yarder for Martinez, who's also an offensive lineman, out of the hold of Shiner. Martinez so far 1 for 1 in terms of field goal attempts. Swings the right leg. It's a line drive kick, but it's good. So the Ziggy off for Ramona. 11:55 to play in the second quarter. A 28-yard field goal.
Didn't he have 39 in a row?
Made 39 extra points in a row. Snapped the streak against John W. North on attempt number 40. And then he missed number 41 as well.
Yes, he did.
So a 52-yard drive for Ramona ends in a field goal, and they're on the board here in the second quarter, 7-3.
Hey, how was it last night? Martin Luther King almost went down to defeat to the Huskies of John W. North.
Told you OP would have him ready.
I have to call McMains this weekend. In fact, I think Jason McMains is going to come hang out with us tomorrow night at RCC. Going to be at the.
And we have King next week, right?
We do.
I think we have Arlington and Buena Park.
I get to hang out with a mini version of myself.
Oh, is Chip McMains your mini-me? Is that what they say?
Well, McMains, I like to call him my mini-me because he's so little compared to me. And I'm so good-looking compared to him.
From the 4-yard line. Up to about the 21-yard line. Bringing it out is Vences. Making the tackle for Ramona on the play. Adrian Alvarez. And so 1st and 10 from the 21 for Hillcrest.
Is there? We always talk about it. We talk about it to ad nauseum. Is there a better fundamental football team than Ramona when it comes to tackling? Not many. Coach Mush and his staff do a great job.
Sandoval with the catch. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. Making the tackle for Ramona, Eric Lopez. So Sandoval with another reception. Another completion for Ramos. Second reception for Sandoval. Fences. And down he goes. Barrios with the tackle up to the 25-yard line.
It's a big 3rd down here. Let's see if they can get something out of this so far. Ramona kind of climbing back into this one.
One-on-one coverage here on the near side. Jordan Daniel and Eric Lopez both matched up. 3rd and 7 coming up. And the deflection over the middle. Good pressure. Barrios coming on the blitz. Luis Mena applying pressure. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down. So a good stand by the defense of Ramona.
Yeah, was that Barrios that got a hand on that? I don't know about these Ramona uniforms. You know, I love my Ram High. In fact, I wore my Ram High shoes today, my light blue Nikes, but those almost look like acid wash. Remember the old acid wash?
Oh, I
of
do,
the
yeah.
80s? Did you have a pair of acid wash jeans?
I never did.
You didn't?
Did not. Matt Ramos back to punt.
Did you have parachute pants?
I think I owned a pair of parachute pants at some point. Troy Long back to receive. Ramos's kick skips down, and Long will get away from it. Now down at the 35-yard line. 40-yard kick, no return.
Were you a hip dresser as a kid?
No.
Did your parents let you dress hip?
You know, I had the typical, like the paisley shirt and the nice pants. Like, it wouldn't let me dress the way I wanted.
Yeah, my parents never, they would say, you can't dress trendy. So I got a pair of parachute pants, and I had a members-only jacket.
Yeah.
The first time I wore it, I got laughed at, and I never wore them again.
Oh.
Because I was a polo shirt guy. I looked like that guy on Saved by the Bell. What was his name? Zach.
Yeah. Oh, you were? Really?
Yeah, I was a preppy. I didn't mean to be. It's just my parents. I also went to Catholic school, so I only wore brown corduroys and white polos.
From the 36, 1st and 10. Tolbert dancing up inside. He's got some space. Tolbert off to the races. He could go all the way. Touchdown, Sincere Tolbert. 64-yard run, no laundry on the field. Touchdown, Ramona.
There he is. Look at you. Look at you, Tolbert. Fun to watch. Wow, I love it, the big runs. He is that guy. We saw it with Bo Bruins. We've seen it 2 years in a row from sincerely, Mr. Tolbert.
Ramona gets a stop, and then the first play from scrimmage after the punt, Tolbert takes it to the house. Here's Martinez for the PAT. Already has a field goal on the game.
makes it 10-7 with the PAT.
Wow. Man, there was no one catching him. He was the defender was in pursuit, but man, watch Tolbert. He has that quick first step. Boom! There he goes. And nobody is catching him. Nobody. Yeah, no, Mayweather gave it his best shot, but not enough. What is it? Not a long enough landing strip. That looked like as my son was a B-52 Hustler, going right down the long strip.
So McAllister with the kickoff for Ramona. And that'll go into the end zone. Touchback. So 10:07 to go in the first half. It's a 10-7 Ramona lead, and looked like Hillcrest kind of had thrown that first punch. Ramona absorbed it, and now they've kind of counterpunched a little bit, and they lead at 10-7.
Yeah, and I honestly, it looks like Ramona just came out flat, not ready to play. They kind of got it figured out, and we're seeing the tides turn from the two lines.
Well, it was a long way to go. Going to be a lot of adjustments. The last 10 times these teams have played, Hillcrest has won 6 out of 10, but they've split the last 4 meetings. Last year was a thriller won by Hillcrest 17-16, but it was Ramona that went all the way and won a state title. Throw it up top. Incomplete. Daniel on the coverage. I think Sandoval was the intended receiver.
Just a bit overthrown there. We have, remember, tune in later on this evening. I almost drove out to the studio last night, but tonight we have the Pep Rally. It'll be on 11 p.m. on YouTube. Check out Pep Fernandez, as we're going to have highlight scores and hijinks all in the studio. Great play there.
Getting outside is Ramos all the way up to midfield. Big run for Ramos. We mentioned last week he ran for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. A 30-yard chunk right there.
Well, we saw in the highlights, like I said, on the Pep Rally last week, and we were all talking about Ramos. Said, did you see how quick he was? And just like that, great fake, and he is off to the races.
That's one of the elements he brings, the fake to Louis Fajardo in the backfield. And we're to midfield now. So Fajardo is the setback. Ramos flings it to the outside over Shaw, incomplete. Lopez the closest Ram to him. Second down coming up.
Luis Mena right there in the grill of Ramos there.
And Mena, we also didn't see Mena against North.
That's right. This is only his second game back. Can't believe we're already in, what, week 2?
Week 2, is that
week
still
2, game 3?
Game 3.
I'm still not a big fan. I understand you explained it all. It still just drives me bonkers.
Second down, Fajardo, and Mena there to meet him. Still fighting, and then Barrios comes to clean it up. Lost back to the 47. Fajardo, the senior, he's a great story for Hillcrest, and was one of those kids kind of in and out of the program. Travis Carter kind of said, kind of asked to leave, but got everything together and had some things going on that were out of his control. But he said, not only is he kind of gotten it together and he's a member of the team, Coach Carter was telling me, Louis has become kind of a leader for us. Just the way he approaches it, the way he comes to practice. Been one of those feel-good stories. 3rd and 12 coming up. Ramos stepping up. Slips onto the Ramona side of the field, gets back the loss and maybe a couple more yards. Troy Long there on the hit. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, you got to love stories like that, Gazelle. You know, everybody, high school it's the big learning curve. Some guys figure it out early. Some guys don't figure it out ever, but it's really a nice story when guys can turn their perspective around and, like you said, become a leader of a program is really something special.
Just being part of a team, you learn so much.
Oh, you
know,
do.
like, of course, you know, you go overboard a little bit on the guys who are performing well. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Ramos down the middle. In and out of the hands of Sandoval. Incomplete. Hands went right to his helmet. Ball goes over to Ramona. They had the play they wanted.
Great call right there by Carter. Sandoval wishes he had that one back. That was probably one of the easier catches he's going to get in stride. But, young fella, don't put your head down.
Good throw by Ramos. Sets his feet. Gets the ball over the receiver and just couldn't quite reel it in.
That's one you go, hey, this is easy. I'm going to start running. You think about the move before you catch the football.
I mean, we've watched Julian Sandoval since he's a sophomore, one of the more shorthanded guys in the city of Riverside. 1st down for Ramona. They get the ball to Tolbert out of the backfield. Instead, that was actually Lorenzo Sims. Gets the loss back to the 45. Under 8 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Pretty clean game so far, except for the very beginning. There were a couple penalties, but you can now start to see in game 3, teams are now starting to figure out and get disciplined here. Both teams very disciplined, as we know, and watching them in the River Valley League for so many years.
Here's Tolbert. He'll get back the loss, get back to the original line of scrimmage at the 47.
Now, I kind of wonder if Travis Carter wanted to play at Arlington just because they play Arlington still. Might as well get an extra game on this field.
Could be. But I'm guessing because one of the options would have been Ramona, but they don't want to play on their opponent's home field, so it worked out. 3rd down coming up. Ani Kane split out to the top of the screen for Ramona. Oh, and the snap gets away from Shiner, was low, trying to make something out of nothing, flings the ball to the near side. He's got a man, Lorenzo Sims, but overthrown, incomplete.
Not a bad play considering.
Good job by Shiner trying to make something out of that play. He had a man open, but had to get rid of the football.
And got rid of it on the sideline. Very smart play.
Did not panic. Goes, retrieves the football. That's the first thing. You got to secure the bag, and then here comes the pressure. So he's got to get rid of it. He sees the open man and kind of throwing across his body, running, moving with the throw. Timeout called by Hillcrest here. They'll stop the clock. 6.5 to play in the first half. Ghazal Hassan with you, along with Jeff Gorham. Nick Rice patrolling the sidelines for us. I was going to say we throw it down to Nick. I just don't see Nick.
I see him. He's not doing much, though. He's hanging out.
Get a look at the Hillcrest huddle. There's Travis Carter in the background there, facing the camera. Head coach, 6th year. Yes, I had to double check that. It is his sixth year. Took over in 2019.
Well, he was a good quarterback. A good player for that guy across the way.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? What was?
Played on that. There's
guy.
Ken Mashinsky's 8th year head coach. So if the Rams can hold on, and I did not realize this till yesterday, 100th career win for Mashinsky.
Really?
60 at Ramona, 26 at King, and 13 at Beckman. Beckman in Irvine. I guess Tustin Irvine. I don't know what you call it. Right on the border there. He's wearing the shorts there, Mr. Mashinsky. And McAllister in to kick.
They're going to mark it out 32, so a short kick. But that's where Hillcrest will start it out. So the Hillcrest defense gets a stop with 6.5 to play here in the first half.
We saw some people here. Ken Batdorf is here. He came up to the booth and
Nachos. He had the nachos.
He had nachos, and he offered me nachos. But the thing is, we were going live. I couldn't have crunched on air, and he had them covered. It was slathered.
You can crunch on air.
It was.
You can get away with anything, Jeff.
It was slathered with
You're the governor of
jalapenos. Jalapenos. He doesn't need to eat that stuff.
Well, jalapenos are good for you.
Not for him.
Jalapenos
Not for that guy, but he had a small Gatorade with him, too.
He's not coaching today.
He's hanging out.
Ramos gives to Vences. And ridden down after about a 2-yard pickup. Making the tackle, Santiago Arteaga. So keeping it between the tackles. So 2nd and 7 coming up. Vences again, and Long kind of submarines him. He'll stretch out to the 35, bringing up a 3rd and 5. Talking about Beckman High, do you remember a Saturday Night Live sketch with Rob Lowe back in the height of the Arsenio days where he played a character named Arsenio Beckman? You remember that one?
I don't.
There were 2 Arsenio sketches. There was Dana Carvey playing Carcinio, the blend of Johnny Carson and Arsenio, and actually got Dana Carvey banned from The Tonight Show.
What?
And then
he was banned?
And then Rob Lowe played Arsenio Beckman. 3rd and 5. Ramos going up top, looking down the field. He's looking for Shaw, one-on-one. Nice coverage by Iniola Olawuyi, one-on-one all the way with Nicholas Shaw.
See, when you say Shaw, I think of Sharman Shaw.
The former Sharman Shaw, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Dorsey
Yes,
High,
there we
UCLA,
go. Boom,
Miami
love it.
Dolphins, Indianapolis Colts. He and Keyshawn Johnson were high school teammates and best friends at Dorsey.
I knew something was coming out of that one.
4th and 5, and Travis Carter's going to keep the defense on the field. Oh, because Ramos is the punter, too. That's what it is. So Ramos takes the snap, and he'll kick it away. So down at about the 37-yard line. So 28-yard kick, no return. We'll throw it down to Nick Rice on the sideline.
Because, football's a funny thing. A lot about winning and losing football games comes down to something as simple as confidence and momentum. And you could see it in some of the mistakes made by Hillcrest and just the mood of the 2 sidelines. Ramona could not be more jazzed for this football game today. And meanwhile, on the other side, Hillcrest, heads down, hands on their hips, just a completely different mood down here. We'll see how that translates going forward.
First and 10, line is at 37. Shiner going to go up top. Incomplete. Troy Long, the intended receiver, running in coverage with Noah Mayweather. Mayweather, a returning starter in the defensive backfield. So 2nd down coming up, and we may have a little bit of a slobber knocker, as Pep Fernandez likes to say.
Oh, see, I'm not a fan of the slobber knockers. Do you like the slobber knockers? I like to.
If they're well played. Yeah, I like scoring too, but if the defenses are playing well.
But I always say a good defense is a good offense.
I agree with you. Tolbert. They've done a nice job on Tolbert, really loading the box. He's dragging tacklers with him. Now, he did have the one big run, obviously. Getting up from the bottom of the pile was Robert Lozano, but I think Miguel Mijanez had the initial contact on that. He'll roll. That's a pretty decent game. Got all the way to the 45-yard line, did Tolbert. Aside from his 64-yard run, that's his longest run of the day. So 3rd and 2 coming up.
Got to give a shout-out to our boy Jackson Hugh Wood at home.
Jackson Wood.
Jackson Wood is at home watching us right now. The head basketball coach he's a champion at Hillcrest in many ways than one.
Shiner looking for the first down. He's got it. Dylan Tolbert all the way up to the 40-yard line.
15-yard completion will move the sticks.
You know what he's doing right now? He's sitting at home watching us, and he's drawing up offenses.
He should be drawing up defenses.
No, he's like me. He just wants to outscore. There's no D. Hey, Jackson Wood. Oh, there's one D in Wood.
Why did Hillcrest play zone?
Was this why?
Because Jackson Wood.
Yowza!
1st and 10 from the 40 now. Coach Wood is great. And he's had a lot of success, and he's had players move on to the D1 level.
He was on my team when I was coaching RCC. He was just a young lass.
Rolling right. Shiner to throw. Complete. Nice find by Shiner. That's Lorenzo Sims spinning down to the 25-yard line. 15 more yards, another Ramona first down.
Well, Ram High looks like a totally different team here in the second quarter. They figured it out, I think.
We've said this, and here's another look at the play. Shiner on the run, good throw. Almost had him the first time. Now he has him the second time. Didn't get him on the original version, but got him on the remix. Kind of like Ludacris and DJ Khaled over there.
Did you see Ludacris throwing out the first pitch the other day, and he had giant arms?
I did not.
Like huge arms. It was
He's
a
like
weird...
a big celebrity now, huh? He used to be kind of like this fringe rapper guy. Now he's like a celebrity guy.
He's a Fast and Furious guy, isn't he?
No, that's right.
I've never seen one of those movies ever.
Tolbert angling to the right side, turns the corner inside the 15, pushed out of bounds.
He's Fast and Furious too, that guy right there, Tolbert. Have you ever seen one of those movies? I don't think you have either.
I've not. And the funny thing is, I should, because one of the directors of it is a classmate of mine from UCLA.
I can't watch those movies. And you and I are movie guys.
Yeah. There's too many of them. You fall behind. Like, if you haven't watched one by the third time, then you're going to be so behind.
There's like 10 or 11 of them, aren't there? Yeah, I don't have time for that.
1st and 10 from the 12 for the Rams. They've scored 10 unanswered points. Shiner looking left. Momentarily, Mata was open. Now he throw to the right side. Into the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Sincere Tolbert. Snaps a string of 2 straight completions. So 5 for 11 through the air is Shiner. Incomplete. Clock stops here. Hillcrest and Ramona renewing their rivalry from the River Valley League. They're in different leagues now, but decide to play in a non-league schedule. Ramona also played Arlington, who's left the league as well.
Arlington and Hillcrest are in the same league now, correct? Again.
Both in the Sun Belt. And Poly.
And Arlington it was a short visit in the River Valley. Just a very short visit.
Yeah. Second down. Shiner will keep it to the 5, to the corner, to the pylon. Touchdown, Cody Shiner. 12-yard touchdown run, Ramona. 16-7.
This is going to get brought back.
Flag on the play.
It's going to be a hold. Oh, great run, negated. Big crowd here tonight. Huge crowd.
Decent crowd on the Ramona side. Decent crowd on the Hillcrest side. Should be a good rivalry. So the penalty moves the ball back to the 22-yard line. Sims in motion. Here's the give to Tolbert running inside. Initial contact made, and he'll be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Zaya Guerrero getting in there on the hit, the senior. He's a returning starter.
Oh, look at those blue shoes right there. That's a good-looking, good swag right there.
Not to be confused with the old New Wave band New Shoes.
New
Spelled
Shoes.
S-H-O-O-Z.
Yeah.
Timeout on the field. 3:15 to play. Well, I guess we have an injury, so Nick Rice is going to report it. Our intrepid reporter, Nick Rice, who's hurting?
Not a big injury, but Ethan Ramirez, number 4 for Hillcrest, sustained a sprained ankle. They're being very cautious about it, but he should be able to return at some point here in the second quarter.
Thanks, Nick.
couldn't hear. So
I'm sure somebody's hurt that we're unaware of. I hope it's not the kicker.
again, mentioning the camouflage uniforms being worn today by Hillcrest, donated by the National Guard. So kind of their military appreciation token there, and also the speckled uniforms for Ramona. Both teams kind of coming together to do that.
Both wearing dark unis, though. A little strange.
It is. Kind of like when UCLA and USC play. They both wear the dark jerseys.
Yeah.
And it looks good. If you're watching on TV, it looks good. The true blue and the scarlet, the classic scarlet for the Trojans.
Are you looking forward to any big games this weekend?
RCC,
Yes.
Long Beach City.
That's the game right there. Good answer.
Third down. Over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off. Bringing it back the other way. All the way to the 45-yard line.
Is that one of our new numbers that we got sent to us?
I was trying to finesse it. Hang on.
Great catch. Jump the route right there.
Yeah, that was Nico Bernal making the catch, wearing 24 instead of 23. Bernal's older brother also played. Nate Bernal also played for Hillcrest. And what a big play by Bernal. Plays defensive back and wide receiver. Ball up to the 42-yard line. Vencis spun down by Troy Long after about an 8-yard pickup. Vencis, his 9th carry. 45 yards on 9 carries, including a 3-yard touchdown run. Huge turnover. And Vencis again on the run. Brought down after another first down by Aki Artiega.
And a hurry-up offense here by Hillcrest.
Sticks moving up as the clock stops. Ball to the 37-yard line. Keeping it is Ramos. Ramos inside the 25. He'll pick up another 13 yards.
I like what Hillcrest is doing. I mean, they are going no huddle and trying to force it right up the middle here.
Little tempo, and now a timeout on the field. Timeout called by Ramona. Ken Mashinsky and Gabe Guzman going to try to slow the pace down a little bit. It's been a good first half. Ramona up 10-7, and Hillcrest now inching closer to the red zone. They're at the 24-yard line. So the little parry back and forth, the master and the apprentice. Kind of the chess match between Travis Carter and Ken Mashinsky.
Okay, if he was a Jedi, who's the Jedi? Who would be Ken Mashinsky? What Jedi would he be?
Oh, he's definitely Darth Sidious.
Oh, yeah, where's gone?
Oh, he's the dark side, man.
The dark side.
Ken, now that he's won a state championship,
He's dark side.
He's over on the Sith. Yeah, he learned the power of the dark side. They were 5-5. He sat next to Emperor Palpatine, and he said, Emperor, I really want my team to win. And the Emperor says to him, well, Ken, I could help you win. There's a power that helps you win. And then Ken Mashinsky says, well, how would I learn this power? And then he said, not from a Jedi. No, I'm kidding. Ken, one of the nicest men we deal with is Ken Mashinsky.
He's got the higher ground.
1st and 10 from the 24. Here's the give to Vencis, and good surge there by the line. Barrios was there, kind of redirect the play, maybe a 3-yard pickup on it. Luis Mena cleaned it up for Ramona, and 3rd down coming up.
I had a friend last night that watched the game, and he said to me, do you and Gazal always throw in a Seinfeld reference that nobody else will get? I said, we try, and last night was an all-timer.
What did we do last night?
He said he is real and he is fantastic.
We had a couple one.
We did.
Here's the give to Vencis on 2nd down. Gets through McGowan. He lunges forward to the 20. 3-yard pickup on the play. Making the tackle again. Luis Mena's all over the place. So here's 3rd down, another clock stoppage. So ball to the 20-yard line. 3rd and 6 coming up with 91 seconds remaining. Little substitution here. An equipment issue, I guess. And now an official timeout will be called by Hillcrest. So we'll have a break here, 91. And
I think people don't know this, and you and I, now we have a lot of mutual interest, in terms of like movies and pop culture that we watch, but like none of that stuff. Like I don't plan any of that stuff.
No.
Maybe like one thing if a guy has like a name that we can
Yes.
joke around about, but normally that just something flows from you. I riff with you on that, and then we go back and forth.
Sometimes we're just a little bit sloppy.
Like Rini Santoni?
And other times, we are not.
So, big situation here. There's Travis Carter, Ahmad Noor off closer to him, the wide receiver coach, right next to Coach Carter. He'll tap Benson on the back.
Hey, look at that over there up there in the mist. The band is coming in. It looks
Band
like
in the color guard.
it
Yeah.
almost looks like Warriors are walking in over there.
Marching in formation.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 6 from the 20. Shaw split out to the near side, and the near slot lined up is Vences.
Look like Trojans.
We'll do something funny. Empty set coming up. Now remember, Ramos is also a pretty good runner. I'm guessing that the defense has a spy on the quarterback. Here's Vences in motion. The keeper for Ramos, and they sniffed it out. Blowing up the play was Angel Barrios, brings up 4th down. Do you bring in Alegria, or do you go for it on 4th down here?
I think you go for it.
And they're going for it. Scared money never wins. Field goals don't beat touchdowns unless they're just going to try to draw them here and then kick the field goal.
Get an extra 5.
There's Matt Ramos. Had a 30-yard run earlier. He's completed 5 of 11 passes. Cody Shiner's also completed 5 of 11.
And there's the timeout.
Now the timeout game, like Jeff Gorham. Another timeout by Travis Carter with 45 seconds to play here in the first half. We have football tomorrow. The opener for the defending national champions, RCC and Long Beach City.
I cannot wait. We're going to see
Wheelock Stadium.
We're going to see a former running back for Ramona, one of our all-time
We
favorites.
broke the story yesterday, yeah. So I talked with Tom Kraft, who was jovial, by the way.
No.
We spoke on Wednesday. He was jovial.
You must have been talking to his son or someone else.
Somebody, a really clever disguise, But so we're going over the starters, and we were talking about his both tight ends transferred from last year. Connor May and Josiah Cornwell are both playing at Mount Sac this year. So I said, well, what, I know you like to do things with the tight end. And he said, we had a kid in camp that is real smart, real good, hard worker. He's a running back. We're converting him to tight end. Bo Bruins.
What? Bo Bruins playing.
I know that dude. All right. Big play. 4th down.
Put on 20 to 25 pounds, and he was the player of the camp, is what I was told.
4th down play. Ramos looking. Ramos throwing. It's complete. 1st down to the 5-yard line. Jacob McDowell on the reception. You have the Big Mac, Jeff. He's got the Big Mick. You have the Golden Arches. He has the Golden Arcs. McDowell's is open for business. Vences sliding, diving, touchdown Hillcrest. The Trojans take the lead with 30 seconds to play here in the first half.
And Vences, watch how he dives into the end zone, goes in with his head first, but pulls the ball down low so it doesn't get knocked out. A great play from Vences.
Second touchdown run for that man, Alfredo Vences. And his team on top in this hotly contested rivalry, 13-10. Jeff's new friend, Adan Alegria, on to make it a 14-10 lead. Oh! Doinks off the crossbar, off the upright on the right side, and 13-10. So Alegria misses it. 1 for 2 in PATs.
That just makes the game more fun, though, for us, the viewer. Not more fun for Hillcrest, though.
Nico Bernal makes a big play here, and that sets up the drive. Bernal not only with the interception, but the return of 37 yards up to the 42-yard line, and then a 58-yard drive engineered by Matt Ramos. The big play on 4th down. There's Vences with a nice run.
Now Ramos himself takes it, the quarterback who ran for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, as we'll go through the drive again. And here's that big 4th down play, the completion to McDowell. We pay tribute to the great John Amos. And here's the touchdown by Vences, going right at Isaac Mata. Mata got there, maybe a half step too late to make a play. So a different kickoff coming. Looks like Ethan Valdez is going to be doing the kickoff and not Alegria. And then when we're at the half, we'll have Nick Rice with, they didn't tell us which coach, one of the coaches. So here's the Valdez kickoff. It's a squib. Maybe he's the squib guy. You know, it's funny talking with Tom Kraft, not to do too much previewing of RCC. He did say he may go with 3 kickers this year. He's like, we may have a kickoff guy, a field goal guy, and a PAT guy this year. Because they have, like, I think 5 or 6 kickers in camp. You know, Panikowski graduated, moved on.
He's at Idaho, isn't he?
No, that's Chavez.
So is Panikowski.
Oh, he's replacing Chavez.
Yes.
Wow. Talk about a pipeline. RCC kickers heading to Idaho. The only sad thing now is that we won't be able to check in with Chris King.
No, our guy. He's over at Washington State.
I'm happy for him, though, aren't you?
Yes.
You talked to him once. Super nice guy.
A few
right?
times. He came out to a UCR basketball game. We talked for about 45 minutes all about you.
Oh, man. I'm worried.
Oh, wait till I tell everybody what he said.
Ethan Valdez booms it away. And Mata kind of has some trouble with it. Mata, though, picks it up, makes something out of the play over the 25 to the 28. 22 seconds left here in the first half. 13-10 in favor of Hillcrest. People in the stands getting their money's worth, Jeff. So at the half, Nick will have Travis Carter, head coach of the Trojans. Pretty good quarterback in his own day.
Yes.
Said he played it safe this week with practice with the heat. So kind of managed the heat a little bit. Tolbert with the give. Guerrero brings him down at the 35. 6 more yards for Sincere Tolbert. They'll let the clock expire, and at the end of the first half, 13-10, Hillcrest over Ramona. What are your thoughts, Jeff Gorham?
I'll tell you what, I think Ramona came out flat, and they figured it out. That's what you do when you're a good team. Champions make good decisions. I'll tell you what, Hillcrest fought back here in the end of that second quarter, so it's been pretty evenly matched. Just a couple big plays by both teams have separated Hillcrest from Ramona.
Yeah, big 64-yard run for Sincere Tolbert, and the big interception by Nico Bernal. That's kind of the difference in the game right now. That's kind of shifted the tenor of the game a little bit. Does Nick have Travis? He does. We'll go down to Nick Rice.
All right, thanks, guys. It was a good football game. Hillcrest being down most of that half. What were your thoughts of the close there?
Yeah, I mean, we knew this game was going to be a dogfight. They're a really, really good team. So we got to clean some stuff up. We're making too many mistakes out there. Good team like that's going to take advantage of them. So that's what we're going to focus on at halftime.
Not only a good team, but a coach and a strategy you're familiar with. What are your thoughts about how they played and if they're familiar with what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing each other for the past 9 years, so they know us, we know them. I know their kids are going to play really hard, and ours are too. So, it should be a good second half. Hopefully, we can clean some things up and come out on top.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, guys, 13-10 at the half. Back to you.
To the 50-yard line to perform for you this evening.
13-10 the score here at the half as we see the Spirit team come on from Hillcrest. We'll have more football coming at you. Jeff and I are going to step out for a moment, and we'll come back with the second half for you. The Trojans leading the Rams 13-10. Football night in Riverside here from Arlington High School.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department wants you to know how holidays affect your trash service. Trash pickup will not be available during major holidays and collection times will be adjusted in response. Residents with city trash service will see the following adjustments. For Monday holidays, your Monday collection will happen on Tuesday and Tuesday collections will occur on Wednesdays. For Thursday holidays, Thursday service will occur on Friday and Friday service on Saturday. For Friday holidays, your Friday service will occur on Saturday. Residents served by outside vendors will experience a one-day delay of service for each day after any holiday taking place Monday through Friday. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
The Riverside Libraries have new hours and are now open on Sundays. Now you'll have more time to explore, study, and learn about the things that matter to you the most. The new hours for Arlington, Arlanza, Marcy, La Sierra, Orange Terrace, Eastside, and Casablanca libraries are Tuesday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., while the Downtown Main Library is open Tuesday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Friday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. To find out more information about the new hours along with events and programs at the library nearest to you, visit riversideca.gov/library.
I'm Cheech Marin, and we're inviting you to reserve your spot for the inaugural showing of Cheech Collects. So get your tickets today. We're looking for you.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community cardholders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Our convenient curbside trash collection services help promote a clean and healthy Riverside. But what do you do when you have items too big or heavy for your can? That's where our bulky item pickup service can help. Before you call for help with your bulky items, be aware that not all items are acceptable for our free curbside service. Furniture, tree trimmings that are properly bundled and no longer than 36 inches, water heaters, and other non-hazardous materials are fine for curbside pickup. Appliances containing Freon such as refrigerators, freezers, and room air conditioners may also be picked up curbside by separate appointment. Unacceptable items include hazardous waste, antifreeze, paints, filters, and tires. We also cannot pick up electronic waste such as computer monitors and televisions, or fluorescent bulbs and household batteries. Construction or demolition materials such as scrap wood, metal, concrete, doors, and drywall are also not accepted. These items may be dropped off in person for no cost at the Agua Mansa transfer station or at one of our Clean Up Riverside events. For more information and the current schedule for these drop-off events, please visit riversideca.gov/cleanupriverside or call 951-826-5311, your one-stop shop for city services. To schedule a bulky item pickup, first call your service provider for an appointment. On the day of your appointment, please make sure that your items are curbside by 5:30 a.m. You may have up to 5 items picked up at each service call. If you have an appliance containing Freon, please call the Appliance Recycling Center of America at 1-800-654-2722 for your free pickup appointment. RPU customers may even qualify for a rebate. Visit riversidepublicutilities.com for information on current residential rebate programs. To find out more about the City of Riverside trash services or our Clean Up Riverside events, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. When placing your trash containers for pickup, please observe the following. Place each container with at least 3 feet separation from each other and at least 6 feet from obstructions such as parked cars, fire hydrants, mailboxes, and trees. Your bin should be placed at the curb no later than 5:30 a.m. on your collection day with the arrow on the lid pointed toward the street to ensure your bins get emptied. If you are experiencing issues with your trash collection, or perhaps need a replacement for a damaged trash bin, please contact our customer service call center by using the 311 app or website, or by dialing 951-826-5311 to reach one of our customer service representatives. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks. The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. There are 3 different containers for your trash. The blue bin is for recyclables and should only be used for clean recyclable materials such as aluminum cans, cardboard, glass bottles, plastics, and styrofoam. The old brown bin, or new bin with gray lid, is for standard household trash and items not suitable for the other bins, such as animal waste, cactus, palm fronds, soil products, and other waste. The green barrel is for your grass clippings, leaves, weeds, and other plant materials, excluding palm fronds, cactus, and yucca. And please remember not to use any of the containers for heavy construction waste such as concrete. For a complete guide to sorting your trash, please visit riversideca.gov/publicworks.
Hi, welcome to the Riverside Energy Resource Center. I'm Chuck Casey, the Utility Generation Manager. The Riverside Energy Resource Center consists of 4 large generators. They're 50 megawatts each. They're vital during summer peak periods and year-round when we need the power. Each year, we get special permission to take a preventive maintenance outage. We found a piece of metal missing from a rotating blade, which caused some subsequent damage, and it was prudent maintenance practices to repair that damage before we operated again. In the summer peak period, that can be very important. That power would have to be replaced with some other power, possibly external to the city or from a different source, likely sometimes not available at all. Doing this preventive maintenance paid off. We found the problem, we all worked together to get the unit removed, up to the repair facility, and back while power demands were low, so they can run their air conditioners and charge their electric vehicles. The Riverside Energy Resource Center has become more and more important each year. As we add more homes and more air conditioning load, more commercial industrial properties, having this large power plant within the boundaries of our electric system allows us to start the plant up during those peak demands to help the customers and greatly increase Riverside Public Utilities' reliability.
The Riverside City Clerk's Office's mission is to enhance community trust and promote equitable public services by providing accessible and efficient legislative support, digital services, and city records to residents, city council, city staff, and business partners. We prioritize fiscal responsibility and adapt innovative services to meet the ever-changing needs of the community. We strive to provide residents and businesses with responsive and optimal services. So what does that all mean? Our lean and high-performing team is divided among three important functions: legislative, administrative support, and resident services. Besides working as a partner with every city department, the City Clerk's Office is responsible for many public-facing duties such as our passport acceptance facility. The passport team averages over 6,000 applications processed annually, making us the most widely used and highest-performing passport facility in the region. As the keepers of the city's legislative historical record, we are the go-to office for public information requests. On average, our office fulfills over 1,600 requests a year with a 3-day average response time, much faster than the 10 days required by state law. Every 10 years after the U.S. Census, the city is required to redraw its ward boundaries to ensure equal representation, and the City Clerk's Office is an integral part of that effort. In 2022 and 23, we hosted and attended 40 community meetings to gather input from our residents on how we should reshape Riverside. Visit ReshapeRiverside.com to find out more about this process and to learn about Riverside's new ward boundaries. The City Clerk's Office is also responsible for municipal elections, as well as the onboarding and swearing in of all newly elected council members and newly appointed board and commission members. Our office processes all applications for new members and provides annual training for the city's legislative bodies. We provide staff and legislative support for 8 of the city's 18 boards and commissions. The City Clerk's Office also provides agenda processing for City Council and committees, as well as the boards and commissions that we support, averaging over 200 agendas processed per year. As the City of Riverside's filing officer, the City Clerk is responsible for processing financial disclosure forms for public officials as well as routing contracts for execution. All this work would not be possible without our dedicated team. City clerks truly are the grease that keep the wheels of municipal government turning, and our office is here to support Riverside's residents by ensuring that the decision-making process is transparent to the public, complies with federal, state, and local regulations, and is properly recorded. If you have a public records request, want to know more about the city's legislative history, or have an interest in running for public office, the Riverside City Clerks team is here for you. To find out more, please visit riversideca.gov/cityclerk.
So today we're standing here in front of the Grandmother's Mural, and this is a mural done by an artist named Denise Silva, who is a fantastic artist in our community. And we found this mural when she submitted it for another proposal. And when we, the staff saw it, we said this has to go up somewhere in Riverside.
So I was a little intimidated by the, just setting in a concept, but I thought this is something that I really wanted to do, and actually I just felt really called to submit it. I had become a grandmother, and the way the universe works, it sent this quote in my direction, and it was, "When the grandmothers from the four directions speak, a new time is coming." So the four directions are represented by the image of the four grandmothers: Tongva, people of the earth; Liseño, people of the west; Cahuilla, people of the desert; and Serrano, people of the pines.
When the four grandmothers get together, the folklore is that it's winds of change. And what we have done is, so that there is representation all throughout the community, is we have a grandmother at 4 different libraries throughout the community. And so they're all 4 different locations, but they come together here at the main library. And this main library was a big change for the community from what we had before to what we are now.
Our elders, and them being, people that have given us love, that have protected us, have given us safe spaces. I would love for the community to feel that, because that was an intention that I really put into the work. I really wanted to give our indigenous people of the area, I wanted to give them some representation. I wanted to honor them. I wanted to uplift them. They're a reflection of my own ancestors. They're a reflection of my mother and my grandmothers. And I just hope that other people, especially indigenous people and people of color, see themselves in the art, and they feel seen and they feel honored.
Football Night in Riverside, Friday edition. Gazal and Jeff back with you. 13-10. Hillcrest leads after 24 minutes of football. First half touchdown. Started at 4:02 of the first quarter. A 3-yard run by Alfredo Vences, culminating an 84-yard drive, made it 7-0. Within 11:55 of the second quarter, Jose Martinez with a 28-yard field goal. 10-11 of the second quarter, Sincere Tolbert a 64-yard run, and there was no score again till 30 seconds left in the second quarter when Alfredo Vences took it in from 5 yards out after a clutch third down conversion by Jacob McDowell, and that's where we get to our 13-10 score. Ramona kicking it away. Kellen McAllister on to boom it away to Hillcrest. Trojans start with the ball in the second half. Vences back with Shaw. Vences from the 9. Veering up over the 20. Got some room in the middle of the field, and he'll be ridden down at the 30-yard line. Tackle on the play made by Eric Lopez. Good special teams play. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Nick Rice on the sideline. What do you got, Nicholas?
All right, Gazal. So Hillcrest, what opened up their offense off the interception was a good mix of the pass, long and deep. But to make no mistake, Ramona wins and loses football games with Sincere Tolbert. When he scored that 64-yard touchdown early in the second quarter, I had talked to him briefly in the sideline. He talked about he was seeing a lot of holes out there against the defense, but he almost never touched the ball the rest of the half. That'll be interesting to see whether they feature him in the second half,
running
guys.
Left. 35-40 towards midfield. Slips the posse and rolls into Ramona territory all the way to the 45-yard line. 25-yard pickup by Alfredo Vences.
Into Ram territory.
Vences in the first half, Jeff, had 46 yards on 10 carries for the 2 touchdowns. He's now added 25 yards to that, and good blocking down the field. Watch the receivers for Hillcrest. Look at Shaw right there getting in front of Olawuyi, and then Alfredo Vences does the rest. Vences again to the left side, inside the 40, 5 more yards for him.
I'll tell you what, the big boys up front, though, are really doing their job for Hillcrest. I mean, they're opening giant gaps for Ramos and Vences. They are really, really opening it up, splitting that defense right wide open here.
2nd and 4 from the 40. Back to throw Ramos, pulls it down. Now he could run with it. Ramos has got some space. Dancing at the 30-yard line, skips past Long, breaks another tackle, and finally Lopez wrestles him down at the 25-yard line. A 15-yard pickup on the play for Ramos. Ramos ran for 46 yards on 5 carries in the first half. Make it 6 for 61. Trojans at the 25-yard line.
Look how tough it is when you have both of those guys in the backfield. You got to worry about one. You can't spy on both of them. And a missed tackle, 2 missed tackles by Ramona, which is pretty unheard of. They tackled low instead of going high.
Vences slipping on the right side, diving forward to about the 15-yard line, close to another first down. So they're running left, they're running right. The big boys, Gabe Vallejo, Isaiah Davis, Jose Beltran, Noe Zuniga, Ivan Quiros. I think Jaden Nieto has even gotten into the mix.
And I like it, the point of impact on these running backs or runners. They are really, really advancing, getting a couple extra yards, using that inertia. They're not falling back at all. They're barreling forward, churning those legs.
Vences, I assure you, just got the first down. Sticks move up again, and a pretty fun drive here for the Trojans. They're just lining it up and running the football here, Jeff.
Yeah, and I like they went up-tempo at the end of that second quarter. Let's see if they can mix it up a little bit here. Kind of throw Ramona off their heels. Ramona's got to adjust here quickly.
Vences running to the left side, finds some space, dives forward to about the 5-yard line. Long in on the tackle, getting some help from Aki Artiega. 9 more yards for Alfredo Vences. From the 5-yard line, they can still get a first down. Vences surges. He'll have the first down to about the 3. Mena in on the tackle along with Troy Long. Couple more yards for Alfredo Vences. First down. So on this drive, Jeff, Vences, 53 yards. He had 46 all in the first half. So already up at 99 yards. Alfredo Vences.
He's got to be in shape because they're going to keep giving him the football.
Option, Ramos trying to find the edge. Barrios will take him down just outside the 2-yard line. Good close there by Barrios. Jordan Daniel and Long were also over there, but Angel Barrios with the initial attack. So knocking on the door now are the Trojans. Clock moving. They've gone to the run game here in the second half very heavily.
And why not chew up some clock as well? With, you got a 3-point advantage here. Can make it a 10 or 11-point game if you can score the football here.
Vences stopped at the 1. Going for the hat trick is Vences. 17 carries for him. He's over the 100-yard mark now.
And that's a pretty favorable spot considering it looked like his knees hit the ground first. But that extension, you got to put that arm out. Smart move. Can't do the replay.
James Schmidt, our white hat, kind of walking towards. And third down coming up. Here's 3rd and goal. Ramos will take this one. Spin into the end zone like a dreidel. Touchdown, Matthew Ramos. Touchdown, Hillcrest. So Ramos now with 8 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. 7:57 to play in the third quarter. And some redemption coming up here for Adon Alegria. Missed his last PAT. He'll get another shot. And the Rams take a 20-10 lead.
The Trojans.
I'm sorry, the Trojans. 7:55 to play.
You were looking at my light blue shoes,
I was.
weren't
Your
you?
shoes were slashing in my face.
Anytime I'm at a Ram High game, oh, great, let's take a look at this last series.
Here's the big run, that 25-yard run, taking a couple of knocks for Vences, and it was kind of the drive by Vences, right? And Ramos, too. Nice run here, about a 15-yard run here by Ramos. We saw, now there's Troy Long, is a very good tackler to get by him. That's no short order. And then Vences, more or less the rest of the way until Ramos takes it in late. Alfredo Vences, we mentioned, over the 100-yard mark. He already has a couple of touchdowns, nearly just missed his third. And then here's Ramos finishing it off. Oh, no, he'll be brought down there. Then Vences stopped right at the 1-yard line. Knee went down before the ball, and now Ramos, instead of running right, goes left. There's the spin and the lean.
Nice reverse pivot. Did you see that?
Little basketball fundamentals. And the kickoff sails out of bounds, and the flag comes in. So 20-10 in favor of Hillcrest, and then it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35 for Ramona.
Who was the coach that always used to, anytime they kicked it out of bounds, they'd make him kick it again?
John Brandon.
John Brandon. Right.
Thanos.
Former head coach of Hillcrest.
Hillcrest, yeah, did a great job. Got them up and running, handed it off to Travis Carter.
Long-time coach at Corona, a Riverside Poly graduate, played for Mike Churchill. Mike Churchill going into the Riverside Poly Hall of Fame in 2 weeks.
We were talking about that yesterday because, Fontana, that old Citrus Belt League with Fontana, Eisenhower, and Redlands, and Poly was in that league too. They won that, I think, 84, got to the final in 85. Maybe I have that backwards.
Yeah.
I know John Brandon played on that team, Mike Churchill's team.
He did, and
later played at Arizona, had a cup of coffee in the NFL.
And then went on to star in Marvel movies.
1st and 10 from the 35. Tolbert right up the middle. Second level. Mayweather brings him down. The ball's loose. Bustamante falls on it. Are they going to say he's down? No.
No, they're giving it to him.
Hillcrest football. So the fumble by Tolbert.
I'd love to see the reaction of Coach Mush on that one. I'm not. Let's see here on the replay if he was down when that ball squirts out.
So Tolbert.
Oh yeah, he looked like he might have been down.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 call, and now the officials are going to talk about it. If the knee is down, but see, they got to play to the whistle.
Yes,
so give Hillcrest credit playing for the whistle, and they're going to say, "Yep, Hillcrest ball." So a turnover. There was the interception in the first half by Nico Bernal kind of flipped the script a little bit. Another turnover. So the second turnover for Ramona here at 7:46 of the third quarter. And I would expect we're going to get a steady diet here of Vences.
And a lot of, and run the clock as much as you can. Hey, Ramona can score in bunches. We've seen it in the past.
So now, of course, they go empty. Look at Vences in the near slot. Shaw split out to the near side, trips to the far side. Empty backfield for Ramos. He'll run it. Just over that painted lion visage at midfield. About a 6-yard pickup for Ramos. Clock continues to move. It's not really a visage. It's the lion in its entirety.
Yeah, I didn't understand the visage thing until you explained it to me. I'm 53 and I'm still kind of lost sometimes. My verbiage. I'm new to the game. I'm not that new anymore.
You're not. You're an old pro.
It's 10 years now, Gazal.
Yeah, closer to the tail than the visage. The visage would be up at about the 45-yard line. 2nd and 5. Ramos throwing deflected. And a flag comes in. Olawuyi, they're going to see that it would be interference, and they're saying the ball was tipped, which is correct, so it'll just be an incomplete pass. 3rd down coming up. All right, we'll go down to Nick Rice real quick.
All right, guys, we've seen a couple of drops and a couple of fumbles in today's game. Let me represent to you real quick how to hold the ball. You want to make sure that your index and middle finger is right in the middle right there, and you tuck it in, not too far in. You don't want to hold the ball right over the elbow. Hold it a little bit in, high and tight, high and tight. That's how you hold the ball, all right, guys?
Shaw makes the catch at the 45-yard line. So Shaw makes the catch. Ball will move up to the 46-yard line of Ramona. Good enough for a 1st down. So about a 10-yard pickup on the play, the completion from Ramos to Nicholas Shaw. 3rd catch for Shaw. He's got 31 yards through the air.
as we near 6 minutes to play in this one. And how do you do? Barrios brings down Vences. Instead, I'm sorry, that was Troy Long making the play. Bursting through there.
Everybody's All-American, Troy Long. Called his name a bunch. He's been a hero many times, as we've seen.
Bought him up for the playoffs as a freshman, had a big year last year as a sophomore, and now the anchor of that defense as a junior. 4-yard loss on the play, second down coming up, and either somebody moved or somebody leaned. It's going to go against Ramona. James Schmidt. Who are the famous Schmidts of the world? Mike Schmidt, Timothy B. Schmidt, James Schmidt. So 5-yard penalty.
Did you say J.T. Schmidt?
I did not. I think is that Schmitz? Oh, Schmitz?
Schmitz. I'm sorry.
Vences running to the left side. Flying in is Long. Barrios also there. Long looks like he's a little bit shook up.
I would say Ricky, but he's Schmidt.
Rick Schmitz. Marist. The Dunking Dutchman. Did you ever play against Rick Schmitz?
No. How about Jimmy?
Listen, man.
I knew if I brought up Jimmy.
You can Tom Selleck all you want. There's an injury on the play. Get a look at it. Long. It looks like kind of in the shoulder, neck area. He got bent back a little bit. That's never pleasant. Hopefully he's okay. A little stoppage in play. The coolest TV guy in the 80s. I know you're a big Tom Selleck guy. Victor Cifuentes from L.A. Law. I'm sorry. Way smoother.
No, he's not smoother.
He got to make out with Lori Partridge. Did Tom Selleck ever make out with Lori Partridge?
Tom Selleck made out with everyone.
Yeah, but not Lori Partridge. That's the point. That's the point. Now, by the way, L.A. Law now available on Hulu, so if you want to go back and revisit, a lot of big people got their start in L.A. Law.
Why don't they bring back L.A. Law? Why don't they reboot it?
They were trying to, but it didn't work out.
Really?
Blair Underwood was going to do it, and they didn't do it. So, I think still to this day, greatest opening, and I'm a big Sopranos guy.
Yeah.
Best opening title sequence that tells you all about the show, L.A. Law. Do you know why?
Why?
At the end is the hammer with the late Richard Dysart as Leland McKenzie, who was the senior managing partner.
Yes.
He's always the last guy in the credits.
Really?
Yeah, and Richard Dysart.
But you can't say, come on, man. I mean,
Cifuentes.
Cifuentes was cool, but Thomas Magnum.
He's in Hawaii, and Troy Long going to walk off under his own power.
He had TC.
Yeah, he had a bunch of stuff.
He had Larry Manetti.
He had a bunch of stuff.
He had Higgins.
It's
Ferrari.
It's the difference between Superman and Batman. Batman has a lot of stuff. Superman is Superman. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. But who's Superman? That's Tom Selleck as Superman.
Christopher Reeve. You know, they played the theme from Superman at halftime.
They did?
The band, the Hillcrest Band.
Kal-El.
Superman 2, Superman 2,
we're
on the same vibe.
Yes, thank you.
That is the best one. So no Troy Long on the field right now. Let's see how that affects it. Nice to see him walk off under his own power, though. Third down. Ramos being chased. Flings it down the field, and Sandoval high points, and a flag comes in. Sandoval's got the first down to the 30. Let's see what the flag's all about.
Does that redeem Sandoval's miss in the first half right there?
Unless he had the penalty.
Looks like he's wearing a doily around his neck.
You know, Ahmad Noor, who's the wide receiver coach for Hillcrest.
Oh, it's going to come back.
He said in camp he kind of got on Sandoval a little bit about his conditioning. And he said, listen, you're a heck of a player, but if you want to move up, hands to the face, or illegal use of hands. So the penalty on Hillcrest, that's the fourth penalty on Hillcrest. It'll move it back.
It's good to see.
Third and long.
Speaking of long, Troy is back. He must have had a little stinger. If you ever had a stinger, those hurt.
Yeah, it's really hurt. They feel like they're really worse than they are.
It's like a funny bone in your entire body. But I'm filled with a lot of funny bones.
Interesting. So they move it to the 39-yard line, so it'll be third down and 3. So it was a spot foul. So you wipe away the catch, but you still get the yardage. Good catch there by Sandoval.
Great catch.
They really like him. Goes up and gets it, gets both feet down. It's an NFL catch right there. So third down looks like about 2. Sandoval in motion. Ramos, good defense there. They're going to keep him from getting the first down. It'll be 4th and short, but not much of a gain. Getting up from the bottom of the pile for Ramona is big Raymond Ceballos. So 4th down coming up. Ramos basically got back to the line of scrimmage. So 4th and 4 coming up. We had a really good talk with Ahmad Noor. We'll have to get into it a little bit. You're a coach, so you get exactly what he's talking about.
I know exactly. I love the way he was talking about the intangibles that make you a good player. It's not just the making the catches. It's everything you do outside of that.
Ramos down the field. Intercepted by Mata. Mata goes up and picks it off at the 25. So the Ramona defense stands up. Ramona turns the ball over. And the big play by Isaac Mata going up and getting the pick. First turnover for Hillcrest. The ball will go on the 26-yard line. Another look at it here.
Mata's like that Hunter guy from Colorado. He's getting all
Travis
the
Hunter. Maybe he go play for Coach Prime. Look at Vences making the tackle. Little Jeff Van Gundy action there.
But not a bad. I mean, not a bad play offensively. Great defensive play. You give it to Ramona. Backed up against the fence here a little bit, but
4:16 to play, third quarter. It's a 20-10 lead. It's been a good football game tonight. Tolbert gets the ball right back. Tolbert hurdles forward. He's upended by Robert Lozano. He'll move up to the 33-yard line, so an 8-yard run for Sincere Tolbert. And that was the tough part of the fumble, is that he actually gained 7 or 8 yards on the play before losing the football, and an injury now on the Hillcrest side.
Coach
Ken
Mush.
Mashinsky coming out, making sure he is okay. One of the linemen, I think he looks like a cramp.
Get Mush out there.
Stretch out the cramp.
Hey, there's our guy right there.
Melvin Alfaro. And there's Travis Carter walking up.
Look at those guys. They're talking. You know what Mush should do is push his leg forward.
That's the power of the Sith right there.
Right there, yeah.
Heal. They can heal you. Here's Tolbert slipping through. And then there's the tackle. Looks like the young man who's getting helped up, Melvin Alfaro, I think, was the one cramping. But the conversation you had now, Coach Noor was telling us, how he approaches film. And the part you were talking about is good, too. But what I liked about it is, he's not going to berate or yell at them. He's like, I want to teach. I'm going to point out the good stuff they do, but also sprinkle in what they need to improve. And I think that's kind of how you used to coach, right?
I did. You can't get on guys. I mean, the players are different these days. You can tell a kid when he's doing something wrong, but you also have to say, you have to reinforce it with positive, the positive reinforcements. You can say that was the worst play in the world, but if you can get something out of that kid and say, hey, that was the worst play, but you did this right, you're going to get that coach's attention. And when you're in that game situation, you're not going to make those game mistakes.
We were joking. I don't want to get Coach Noor in trouble. Remember he said to us, he goes, well, I'm not coaching defense anymore. So I kind of got to be a little more, meaning, defensive players are used to hearing that stuff. And wide receivers are a little more, they say.
They're sensitive.
They tend to be a little more delicate. Yeah, they're the divas of football, right? Get a look at James Schmidt there with his officiating crew, and they're still tending to Mr. Alfaro there. Jerseys for Hillcrest tonight. We mentioned it a couple times, donated by the National Guard. Both teams doing kind of a tribute to the military. Travis Carter and Ken Mashinsky trying to help young Melvin Alfaro kind of stretch out a little bit.
Yep.
And it's really hot. I mean, I think it was cooler than it was yesterday, but you got to hydrate. It's very important. And, Coach Carter was talking about that this week in terms of practice. And he says they practiced in the heat on Monday and Tuesday to manage the heat. They went early Wednesday, and then Thursday is normally a morning session. But he really did emphasize, hydration and management of it. And it's just a whole thing. It was really hot all week, and I was surprised some of the games. You were telling me some of the lower-level games, because they're played earlier, got canceled.
They did. Or they moved them to, 8 o'clock at night.
Second down coming up for Ramona. Here's the give to Tolbert. He spins out of one tackle and then coming up and slapping him down. David Ramirez makes the tackle. Excuse me, David Rodriguez. I apologize. Wearing a different number. Normally 50, but he's wearing 48 today because of the uniform change that we had talked about. So they move the sticks.
These two coaches, Ken and Travis, we obviously know they're good friends, but they talked about collaborating and bringing attendance to the importance of supporting the military. So both teams are wearing their military-inspired uniforms. And the fund raised tonight at the snack bar is going to be donated to military organizations. So good job to both.
Little screen set up. Here's Mata on the screen trying to make something happen, but a bunch of camouflage shirts around him, and he's dropped at the 35 right at the line of scrimmage. Robert Bustamante gets his nose in there, the senior linebacker, 2-year returning starter as we tick down towards 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Second down coming up.
We have to say hi to our friend Jennifer Mashinsky,
how's she doing? Is she doing better?
She is at home. She said she'll be at the Poly game, so we'll get to see Jennifer Mashinsky again, wishing her well at home. My favorite Mashinsky, followed by Nate.
That's just mean now.
And then Ken.
You're friends with Ken. Come on.
I do. I love Ken. Ken's my favorite coach of Ram High.
2nd and 9, option Shiner. Shiner diving forward over the 43-yard line, but he kind of leaned forward, didn't slide, he dove. Stepping up, one of the helmets around him was Reyes Ortiz.
There's another player down.
Hillcrest player down trying to get to his feet.
Hey, have you ever, I've been dehydrated the last couple of days because it's been hot, and I'm a giant man. Have you heard of this stuff called Liquid IV?
No, I've not.
Yeah, it's like it comes in a little package. I got it at Costco, and you put it in your drink, and it hydrates you. And I'll tell you what, I feel like $100.
So there's Rodriguez on the pursuit. Shiner runs over one tackle, then Bustamante brings him down with the help of Zia Guerrero there as well.
I think they need to get that Liquid IV, it's called, or pickle juice. But pickle juice smells funny.
So here's Robert Lozano was the player who's hurt. He's walking off on his own power. Yeah, I was. Listen, I had 16 ounces of Gatorade last night just to kind of make sure I had the electrolytes going, and then I've been watering all day. So
you look like $1 million.
Really? Thank you.
Best you've ever looked.
Thanks. Same to you.
Thank you. But
got the shorts going.
It's too hot. I can't wear pants.
You and Cool and the gang.
Hey, they're performing. No, are they not? No, it's Earth, Wind, and Fire's performing tonight at the Forum.
3rd and 1 at Tolbert with the carry. Did he get there? Yeah.
Yes.
Second effort gets him there for the first down. Stumbles up to the 46-yard line. That's enough to move the sticks. That's all you need to do, move the sticks.
Make sure you stay around after the game for the smorgasbord of fun.
But you don't have to stick around. You can go home, make yourself a sandwich, have a beverage, and then 11 o'clock tune in for the Friday night pep rally. I still think pep should be the only thing in quotes. That's my opinion. Because it's Pep Fernandez, right? It's that single entendre.
I wonder if he shaved. Last week he had a kind of a beard going. We're going to see him tonight.
He's going through a tough time.
His daughter went to college.
The oldest daughter away at school. Shiner throwing complete. Sims over the 45 to the 44-yard line. 9-yard pickup on the play. Very close to another first down. Good completion by Shiner. So Sims now with a couple of catches. We saw him that first week. He had a very good game against North. And trust me, he's going to play as a factor later in the season when you need kind of a 1-2 punch with Sincere Tolbert. And now he's shown he can catch the ball.
Great replay there. Two different
I love the ground level stuff.
That was great. Good job to our director, August.
Named after an Eric Clapton album. Sims in motion. Here's Tolbert up the middle. And down he goes, up to about the 43-yard line. Coming up and making the hit, Joshua Garcia for Hillcrest as we're under a minute to play. The sticks move up. It's a first down. I want to ask Nick Rice a trivia question. Can he name one song off the Eric Clapton record, August?
I don't think he could name Eric Clapton.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not fair.
Remember, he's also the guy last week that said, hey, look at the Chick-fil-A panda. And I said, eat more panda.
Okay. We will be going down to Nick Rice. That's a great tease for Nick. 1st and 10 from the 42. Shiner keeping it on the option.
upended inside the 40-yard line. Coming up and making the hit, Nico Bernal. Bernal had the big interception earlier. So about 4 yards on the play. Shiner picks up 4. And we're going to be at the end of the third quarter. We'll switch sides and we'll talk to Nick Rice. 20-10, Hillcrest leads Ramona as we go into that fourth quarter. Nick, are your 4s up, buddy? 4's up.
My 4's up. I don't know about that. As we had the band going, might have to go after the band. But Hillcrest has had plenty of injuries today, a lot of which are the cramping variety. It's still 92 in the air, about 100 on the field. Really hot night, guys.
I bet he does not know an Eric Clapton song.
I only know one, but I know the one that counts.
Wait, tearing you apart? Tearing us apart?
It's, you ever see the movie, what was the movie? We were talking about Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, Paul Newman, and Tom Cruise. Color of Money.
Yes.
It's in the way that you use it. Is off of Eric Clapton's August record, yeah.
There's also Tearing Us Apart. I like this one of my favorites.
I was never a Clapton guy.
Neither am I.
I always thought that Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce are more talented. I was a big Alvin Lee guy. You ever hear 10 Years After?
No.
Oh, yeah, I was a big Alvin Lee guy when I was a teenager.
I don't even know who Alvin Lee is. That tells you.
Lead guitarist and singer for the British band 10 Years After. I just think I liked hearing the DJ say 10 years after. After, not after, you know. Before I got book smart, I had the thick jersey. I sound like Tony Soprano. Either way, second down, first play of the fourth quarter. Thanks, Nick, by the way. We don't thank Nick Rice enough.
Wasn't he in Cream, though, too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what Cream, the great Ginger Baker, and the great Jack Bruce.
Okay.
There's a great documentary about Ginger Baker. It's fascinating. Shiner to the outside, complete in the slot. That's Lorenzo Sims, and Sims will be tackled nearly immediately, get inside of the 34-yard line. 4 more yards. So Sims has kind of become that safety valve for Cody Shiner. Clock moving. It's 3rd and 1. Another look at it. Good check down there. Guerrero makes the tackle for Hillcrest. Third and 1. Tolbert going nowhere. Making the play, Ivan Padilla, the senior from the defensive line, just grabbed hold and did not let go.
And this is getting down to the nitty-gritty. Who's in shape? And right now, Hillcrest really impressed with that defensive line tonight.
So 4th down, and it looks like Ken Mashinsky's going to leave the offense out there, Jeff.
I was kind of hoping we'd see a long snapper at Lucas Shiner. It's the long snapper. He doesn't get enough praise.
We should talk about long. We were at Arlington. You know, Kevin Argamosa, the head coach, he is our favorite all-time long snapper. So the long snappers are always going to get love when we call games here at Arlington. Big 4th down. When's it not a big 4th down, right? Rolling left is Shiner. Looking down the field. He'll tuck it under. He's going to have the first down. Shiner inside the 30. Got a 10-yard pickup on the play, and Shiner gets the first down with his feet.
Oh, he's been very, very solid here.
Cody Shiner's been They lost their quarterback last year, Jeremiah Acosta. 100% of their passing yards are gone, and Shiner, great double threat. Look at Sincere Tolbert downfield blocking. We're praising the receivers for Hillcrest. We got to give Tolbert a little bit of a shout-out for blocking as well. And a timeout on the field, 20-10 in favor of Hillcrest. And Ramona with a huge conversion on 4th down.
Shiner, Shiner, Shiner.
So a little twist, Cody Shiner playing quarterback. When Vinny Fazio was the head coach at Ramona, he preceded Ken Mashinsky. I think his last year was 2016. He had Lauren Shiner as a quarterback coach.
That's right.
So I wonder if she still had the playbook, from the Fazio days, and was going over that with Cody as he kind of came up through the system.
Well, I think instead of Laura being a great mother, I know she reads to both her twin sons, like most good moms do. But now she reads them the playbook, and she's talking to him about his progressions, his movements.
I think their oldest son, who also played here, started college. I was talking to Lauren earlier last year. He started college last year.
Yeah, they're going to be empty nesters. But Laura Shiner, probably the best softball coach in the world.
And I occasionally will call softball in the Big West. A lot of Ramona players have played in the Big West. Hawaii,
yes,
among those schools. First and 10 from the 28-yard line after the Shiner run. The injury timeout on the play. Looking right, now throwing left. Looking for Long, one-on-one with Mayweather. Incomplete. Noah Mayweather.
I do love the confidence, though, in Shiner throwing the football.
Yeah. You think Noah's friends call him money? People even know who Floyd Mayweather is anymore?
Probably not.
Another look at it. Had the 3 receivers on the right side, but decided to go left, the one-on-one coverage, and nice job, Mayweather. Kind of, you know, they talk about defensive backs using your hips. That's how you do it. That's how you don't get called for interference. If your body is kind of inside the receiver, they have to jump over you to go get the football. Good technique there by Noah Mayweather. 2nd and 10. Shiner's going to dump it off. This time it's Sincere Tolbert. 25-20. Inside the 15. Pick up the first down. About a 12-yard pickup on the play. Nice job going through the air to Sincere Tolbert. First catch for Tolbert on the evening as we go to 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Martinez with a good block there. Bernal combining with Lozano on the hit. First and 10 from the 17. Tolbert breaks the tackle. Gains a yard after he should have been thrown for a loss, and Tolbert looks like he's a little shook up. That's something that we really saw develop last year with Sincere Tolbert. He became a way more physical runner as the year went on, Jeff.
Well, yeah, if you remember his first couple games, he would catch the ball, and immediately if he would see contact, he would turn his back, and he wouldn't get those extra yards. He has really changed his game. We saw it evolve last year. He's no longer turning his back. He is taking the brunt. You see it right there.
He would not have done that last year early, but he developed. That's what happens when you play 16 games, though. 2nd down. Shiner looking to the end zone. Complete. Touchdown. Troy Long with a touchdown. 17-yard strike from Cody Shiner. Nice job by Long to stay on his feet and get to the pylon. Touchdown, Ramona.
I'll tell you what, watching this Ramona team, you know, you watch Sincere Tolbert. He really compresses that defense. You have to put a spy on him. It spreads things out to those receivers, and Ramona taking advantage of it by going to that spread.
Third completion to Long for 41 yards on the touchdown. Here's Jose Martinez coming on to kick the PAT. So 95 passing yards now for Cody Shiner. 9 of 18 through the air. And it's 20-17.
It's the best game we've had so far this year.
Battle between Mayweather and Long. Mayweather won the first round. Long wins that one and brings his team to within a field goal. How big is that missed extra point look right now, Jeff?
Oh, huge.
Details, little things. We were talking about it earlier. It's the cozy confines of Wrigley Field, the friendly confines of Fenway Park. It may not seem like that much of a difference, Jeff.
But it is.
But there is a difference. Modern day, Pride Drill, Servite, Hut Drill. Maybe they look the same, but they're different. Details. Kellen McAllister, not Kevin McAllister.
Home alone.
McAllister, the kickoff man, as well as the punter, and they squib it. He's scooped up at the 11, not quite scooped up at the 11. There's a little confusion. That's a live football. Diving on it is Vensis to save the day. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, there was Crisco on that ball.
I saw that a couple times against North
the live ball on the kickoff.
I say Crisco, and everybody's going, what? What's Crisco?
So Shaw trying to pick it up and can't quite get it. And then it caroms off of Vences' foot, and the heads-up play, bearing down, was a Ramona player. And diving on it is Vences inside the 10. So 1st and 10 for Hillcrest. Big spot here for the Ramona defense. Can they get off the field here and get the ball back to their offense?
A big drive by Hillcrest. They're going to have to hold the football here, get something out of it.
Vences ridden down, runs right into Angel Murillo. 2nd down coming up. So you're doing two things now. If you're Travis Carter, you want to obviously pick up the 1st down, but you're trying to run the clock down. 3 timeouts left for both teams.
Vences comes out.
Fajardo in there. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Louis Fajardo, the senior, has emerged as kind of a leader for the Trojans, according to his head coach, Travis Carter. Good feel-good story. Ramos, that reverse pivot, he's being chased. Intercepted. Pick 6 coming up. Touchdown Ramona. Jordan Daniel. Johnny on the spot, and the defensive touchdown for the Rams.
Wow. What a great defensive play by Ramona to force Ramos out of the pocket with no other choice but to throw it down the sideline. And a big jump in the route there. Like you said, you knew it was a pick 6 the second he caught it.
Daniel had the pick 6 against North and makes the play there. And they really hadn't been throwing to his side, Jeff.
They have not.
And then he kind of laying in wait there makes the play. And this is a big one right here. There's a little bit of pressure on Jose Martinez. Remember, he made 39 in a row until that North game. He gets that one. It's 24-20.
Wow. What a turnaround of events. Great defense by the Rams. Let's see here as he is forced out of the pocket.
Now, Ramos, I think, is just trying to throw that ball away.
And Higgins on this. Higgins.
Speaking of Magnum. And then he's got 3 guys in front of him. Once he picked the right lane, he was in. And Davion Higgins, with the pressure of the young sophomore who Coach Ken Mashinsky's really high on, thinks he's got a very bright future here, and he helps make a play. And then Jordan Daniel, we already know about him. And it seems like we're back in the playoffs last year. It seemed like every game in the playoffs, the Rams had a pick 6 on their run to a state championship last year.
And how many times did we see Hillcrest in this position going into the fight? I mean, they've been in this position before, trying to make a run.
5 one-score games last year for the Trojans, 9 over the past 3 years. Here's Shaw on the return. Gets up over the 25-yard line. Bumped out of bounds by Aki Artiega. And that's, and it started with the special teams play.
Yes.
They couldn't pick up the squib kickoff, and that resulted in them being deep in their own territory. And then the turnover, second turnover committed by Arlington, 2 turnovers for the Rams as well.
And a great return here, right on the line there.
From the goal line. Breaks the first tackle, getting outside, then kind of slips and dances inside. And finally bumped out of bounds by Lorenzo Sims. So from the 25, it's a 1st and 10 for Hillcrest. 7:36 to play in this one. 24-20, the Rams on top. Mentioned 5 games last year where it was a 1-score game. For the Trojans. 9 over the past 3 years. Ramos calling his own number. Barrios chasing him. He'll scamper up to the 29.
Ramona looks motivated and dialed in right now.
Remember a couple years ago they had a bunch of comebacks, meaning Hillcrest?
Yes.
And this is how this game shook out last year. It was a 17-16 win. They won it on a field goal late. and it was just a tightly contested game. It was October 6th last year, and Ken Wyszynski told me the story. Ramona scored a touchdown late, and his sideline had been unruly. Ramos, the throw, going up and getting it. That's Juju? Yeah, Juju Sandoval with the catch up to the 36. 7-yard pickup will move the sticks. So Ramos now 7 of 15 through the air, that unfortunate one pick. There's the quick throw. We always talk about with the young quarterback, you want to get the ball out of their hand quickly. You don't want them to hold it too long. Snap gets away from him. Ramos trying to make something happen, and a 7-yard loss.
And who's
Lewis Mena combining with Davion Higgins.
I was just going to say Higgins was in on that play as well.
We'll have to start calling Lewis Mena Magnum so we can call Davion Higgins Higgins.
Oh, my God, Magnum.
There you go. See, we worked Magnum P.I. in. We missed misdirection off of Jimmy Smits. Second and 16. They gave it officially a 6-yard loss. Vencis right up the middle. And Arteaga will ride him down. He'll get 3. So Vencis.
If you're Ramona, you can make this stop here. We've seen Mush chew up a lot of clock in the past.
You got Sincere Tolbert. They got Lorenzo Sims. They can run the football. Let's see what Travis Carter has up his sleeve. He's not averse to taking a risk or two. Ramos over the middle. Nice play, deflected. Troy Long. That's a couple of good football players. Julian Sandoval and Troy Long, and Long knocks it away.
Got his hand in the passing lane, didn't try to make the catch. Just slap it down. Great play there from Troy Long instead of maybe going for the grab and not making the catch. Just making it impossible for.
So they're going to go to punt. Plenty of time left. They both have all 3 of their timeouts. So 5:44 to play. Ramos, the punt from the 34. It'll roll down inside the 30, and Shaw will hopscotch over it down to the 25-yard line. 41-yard kick, no return, and now it goes over to the Hillcrest defense. Can they get a stop, Jeff Gorham?
They're going to have to, because we're going to see a heavy dose of running the ball up the middle. We're going to see a lot of Sincere Tolbert. Unless they get into a 3rd and long situation, Rams are just going to try to run this clock out. But both teams, looks like they both have 3 timeouts left.
Yep. So Sincere Tolbert thus far, 16 carries, 112 yards, and the 64-yard touchdown run. Keeping it on the ground with Tolbert. He runs headlong into Alfaro, and Alfaro pulls him down after a 5-yard gain. So 5 more yards, 22 carries now for Tolbert, and 117 yards, and the clock continues to move. And that's really the key for Ramona. They want to just keep the clock moving. Take all the time they want, signaling in the play. Not all the time they want, obviously there's a play clock. Second down. Keeping it as Shiner. Gets away from the tackle. Shiner will have the first down. Shiner up near the 50, slides down at about the 47-yard line. So a 15-yard pickup for Cody Shiner will move the sticks.
Yeah, great play there by Shiner. Heady move.
He was in the competition for the quarterback job last year with Acosta, and Acosta got it. Turned out to be the right decision as things worked out for Ramona. But Ken Wyszynski's always thought very highly of Cody Shiner. Ended up playing some wide receiver last year. Had a very good year. But it seems like we saw him 2 weeks ago. And his kind of command and leadership, you could see the growth already in just the third, from game 1 to game 3.
Yes, you can.
So officially he slid down at the 45-yard line. They'll give to Tolbert. He'll just put his shoulder down and roll to midfield.
That was Bustamante on the tackle. 2nd and 5 from midfield coming up. Look at Ken Mashinsky. His son, Nathan Johnson, just to his left. You know, if he holds on here, he's 346 from his 100th career win.
Wow.
60 at Ramona, 26 at King, 13 at Beckman. This would be 61 a la Roger Maris, and give him 100. Shiner on 2nd down. Looking for it all. One-on-one coverage. That's been a great matchup between Mayweather and Long, and it's 3rd down.
It's a big play here. They can hold them to not getting any yards here. Hillcrest is going to have some time.
I was reading it. Somebody, and they're right about this. People always say, well, big 3rd down. You know, like broadcast.
Yeah.
They always are. So there's no need
exactly.
to say it. All you need to say is 3rd down. 3rd and 5. Shiner, we saw him get some defensive encroachment from Cadence against North, and Ken Mashinsky's going to call timeout and talk it over at 3rd and 5. Just a reminder, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we'll be at Wheelock Stadium, Jeff and I.
I'm excited.
RCC and Long Beach City College. RCC, I think, started the year in the top 20. I think they're like 12th in the national poll.
In the national poll.
12th, yeah.
You win it all last year, and you start 12th.
That's respectable. There's Joshua Mason. He's the defensive coordinator for Hillcrest. Big play coming up for them. That's fair.
No, it's not.
Because they don't know the players they don't know who Bro Bruins
they don't
is.
know who the first 11 teams are, do they?
Maybe they do. Maybe they have guys back. 30 Tigers went on to play college football.
That's amazing.
30. And there are a couple of them that transferred.
And those guys that transferred? Ding-dongs?
Quaylen McQueen, I think, went to Independence, the Last Chance U school. And then I already talked about the 2 tight ends, Josiah Cornwell and Connor May. They both went to Mount Sac, which I find a little bit interesting.
I liked them last year. I especially like Connor May, but now they're ding-dongs because they're not part of the Tigers. Tigers!
3rd down. Shiner back. He's got time. He'll loft it for Long. Incomplete. One-on-one coverage again with Mayweather, and that's been a battle. That's like Sugar Ray and Roberto Duran.
Hands of stone.
4th down. So here's the chance for Hillcrest, unless they got to punt it. I was going to say unless they go for it. I don't think they will. I think they'll kick it. Just the poise, the calmness of Shiner, just putting the air under it. One-on-one, 50-50 ball. Just a little bit overthrown.
Gotta love the effort, though.
Yeah. They'll complete that in week 6. That's a completion. Sandoval back. Here's the kick. Good kick. Will bounce at the 20, and it'll skip out of bounds inside the 5. Well done, Kellen McAllister. 47-yard kick, no return.
You know why that was a good kick?
No.
Lucas Shiner. Long snapper.
Long snapper.
You had to get him in there. One's left-handed, one's right-handed. Twins.
We kind of joke about it, but I shared it with you. Had a gread conversation with Arlington head coach last year, Kevin, and we just went through the whole thing. I got a backup long snapper, I got a freshman long snapper, I got a JV, because it's important.
It is.
Remember we had all those games where the special teams plays would awry because of long snapper mistakes, and I brought it up to coach, and he was like, because he was a long snapper, I brought it up to him. He's like, that's why we have 5 guys. We teach that skill. It's like a backyard skill, right? You're in the backyard, you learn how to long snap. 94 yards to traverse for the Trojans. The throw to the outside is a completion to Shaw, and he'll be taken down at the 15 to lose the football. I think he was down. Oh! Ramona with the recovery. Huge play on the defense. Wow. This side of the field has not been kind to the Rams. Here's the completion from Ramos. Shaw goes up and gets it.
And Barrios,
Oh, yes.
he dislodged it. They are correct. Angel Barrios on the spot. I think Long had the recovery. And first down for Ramona. Have the ball at the 16-yard line. And, John Rice, he's not here today, but John Rice has been talking about it since that run last year, and nice to see Shaw be able to walk off under his own power. Nicholas Shaw for Hillcrest just talks about, we got to start talking about the Ramona defense. And I think he's right. The big pick six by Daniel, and then Barrios, who's been very good the last 2 years. You mentioned Higgins, who's been very good. We haven't called his name a lot today. Gavin McGowan had a big effect on that North game. And all those guys, they graduated last year. These other guys kind of have slid in. And we talked about Troy Long all night.
Yeah, our friend John Rice is going to move into the booth next week.
Is he?
He is. He's going to be moving in with Nick and
Sims.
John Rice.
Lorenzo Sims getting an opportunity inside the 10. He'll pick up about 7 yards on the play. Nico Bernal among the tacklers for Hillcrest as the clock ticks down. Make sure you stay tuned for after the game, have yourself a beverage, have yourself a snack. Might I suggest Chomp's finished no hormone turkey sticks and a cheese stick.
What?
Protein.
What are you talking
about? Protein
about?
burst. 12 grams of protein on the turkey stick and about 7-8 grams of protein on the Simple Truth Organic Colby Jack stick.
No. Wait, this is a Friday night.
19 grams of protein.
But these are high school kids. They can eat burgers. They can go get a double-double.
19 grams of protein for like 140 calories. It's amazing.
Yeah, but that's for guys like you and I. What are the guys, our kids that are watching?
Never too early to start good habits.
No, they got to go to Baker's or they got to go, down the road,
Go have a snack, go have a Gatorade, go have a water, and then tune us in at 11 o'clock for the Friday Night Pep Rally.
Order a all-meat pizza. Drink a milkshake.
All that seed oil, Jeff. I don't know.
What are you, RFK?
I'm Jordan Peterson. Carnivore diet. Nothing but eggs, steak, and avocados for this guy. We worked Jordan Peterson into a broadcast. Thank you. Under 3 minutes to play. Tolbert leans forward, have the first down to the 5-yard line. And with that, young Nick Rice on the sideline has a report for us.
Okay, guys, I'm young, but our fourth member of the crew, Emmanuel Lopez, is very young. So we've seen plenty of fumbles tonight. One more trip for those who are just joining us. Here's how you hold the ball. Fingers right here, high and tight with the ball just a little bit on the inside of the inner elbow. So if I hold it like this, Emmanuel, try and punch it out. Try the best you can to punch it out. All right, now if I hold the ball right at the elbow, maybe I got my fingers off to the side, try and punch it out now. Try and punch it out now. That's the difference right there. High and tight, tucked inside. Unfortunately for Hillcrest, a couple of miscues in that category tonight. We'll see if the defense can make them pay here.
So I understand what Nick is trying to do, but doing that at full speed is an entirely different thing.
Well,
it's like those basketball guys who do the drills, and you're like, but in a game, that's never going to happen.
Nick Rice at a Nike clinic near you.
No, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Nick. Nick is, he's trying to explain something, but man, try doing that at full speed.
I think Emmanuel needed to just tackle him, take him down.
First and goal. Sims in motion. Tolbert takes the ball, and Tolbert down inside the 5 at about the 2-yard line, and timeout starting to be called here to preserve the clock. So the sticks are down. So I thought they'd gotten the first down. I think that was the first down now. So now it's first and goal. We had a big turnover in the first half by the defense of Hillcrest. Can they do it again? There's Ken Mashinsky closing in on win number 100. His son just to his right. He's going to be at Santa Barbara this year as a sophomore. Sims. Stopped at the 1-yard line. Clock continues to move. And now a timeout. I believe that's the last timeout for Hillcrest. So 2nd and goal. It's been a good football game.
That's been fun.
Little bit of everything. As Arnold might say, action, it's got comedy, it's got everything. Are you excited about there's the new Stephen King adaptation of The Long Walk? Excited about that?
You are?
Everything?
You? No.
Okay.
You know, I'll be honest, I like reading the books, Stephen King books.
It's a wonderful
short
story.
stories.
Get a look at Ken Mashinsky. No, I'm excited because you know who's starring in it?
No.
You know who plays the general?
No.
Mark Hamill.
No.
He's going to play the general.
Luke?
Yeah, Luke, who you named your son after, is going to play
Yes.
the general in the Long Walk. All right, a minute 48 to play here in the fourth quarter. The ball, look, it's the nose of the football sitting on the goal line. Hillcrest needs to stop that from happening. Can they do it? Like the end of a Bruce Lee movie here. Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris together in a movie. 2nd down. Give and Tolbert untouched by human hand. We call that one the Good Humor Ice Cream Bar. He's into the end zone for the touchdown, and that could be the coup de grace for the Rams. Tolbert finds pay dirt. He had a 64-yard run and then a 1-yard run. And really, this thing flipped around on a special teams play, Jeff.
Yes, it did. I think there was a flag. Maybe, yeah. Let's see.
You're right, there was a flag. It's a touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Ramona after the play. But that kickoff, which they couldn't pick up and finally had to, Alfredo Vence had to fall on the ball at the 9-yard line.
And the two great defensive plays by Higgins.
Yeah. Davion Higgins making an impact, and the pick 6 by Jordan Daniel. There's your buddy, Jose Martinez. Has not missed a PAT tonight. That's through. He's 4 for 4. 5 for 5 on kicks. Made his first 39 PATs before missing against North.
Starting a new streak.
Starting a new streak. You are correct. I think he made all his kicks last week, too. There's the touchdown. A great ground level shot. Remember when I was working for ABC for a little show called Monday Night Live, because that was when ABC still had Monday Night Football, and we'd come on after Monday night. And it was hosted by a guy named Bill Weir, very nice guy. And I worked for a producer. His name was Eric Corwin. He was a New York guy, so we kind of got along. He was a Jets fan, as was I. And he said, I want you to log. I was a logger. I was logging the highlights. And he said, anything ground level, put a star next to. So he attuned me to like the brilliance. I didn't realize that the ground level stuff was all the brainchild of Rune Arlich. And it was one of the big things on Monday Night Football. Yeah, that's what kind of separated Monday Night Football from the normal football broadcast. And now kind of any, college, whatever, high school, any football broadcast now has a bunch of ground level shots in it. It's a tribute to the great Rune Arlich, who's really a true pioneer in sports television. Kellen McAllister will kick it off for Ramona. It's a short kick because they were penalized. They're kicking from deep, and again, they can't handle it. Picked up by Vences. There's Daniel bringing him down at the 20-yard line. So an opportunity perhaps for Hillcrest to start in advantageous field position, but good scouting by Ramona. Hey, squib it, make it hard to pick up.
Yeah, they dropped it twice.
Like, that's the little thing you were joking about with Nick. It's like, you don't realize how fast all that stuff is going.
And your brain is thinking, you got to, do I have it? Grab it, and you're worried about getting hit. There's a whole lot of.
But I mean, you lean down to pick up the ball. You look up, and everybody's moved 30 yards. Ramos thrown to the outside, nearly picked there by Daniel. McDowell, the intended receiver, incomplete. Before I started working, I think it was the first year I was working for Riverside TV.
There's the replay on it. Getting the ball out of his hand quickly. And good job. Well, that's a good play by Daniel.
Yeah, just stripped the ball right out.
McDowell actually had the ball in his hand. And Daniel had to make a play on it, 2nd and 10. Complete to Shaw. Shaw up to the 35-yard line, and he's tackled there. They'll stop the clock momentarily to move the chains. Troy Long on the tackle for Ramona. They'll reset the chains, and the clock winds. No timeouts left for the Trojans. Play action, looking deep. He's got Shaw one-on-one, incomplete. On the coverage, Iniola Olawuyi, the senior, been very good today.
Yeah, he has been step for step with all the receivers for Hillcrest.
But the first year I did games for Riverside TV, somebody called me to do, hey, you want to do sideline for the CIF final? It was Mater Dei and Long Beach Poly, I think, at Anaheim Stadium. And so I'm down on the field, which I'm usually up here. I'm down on the field, and that's high-level football, right? Because a lot of those guys are going on to play D1. There was a tight end for Mater Dei that ended up playing at UCLA. I think got a cup of coffee in the NFL as well. 2nd down coming up. Here's the pressure. Ramos steps up, sidearms it, complete to the middle of the field for McDowell. He'll lean forward to the 45-yard line. That's another 20-yard pickup. The clock will stop as they reset the chains. Here comes Hillcrest. Now they'll stop the clock in earnest. Player down for Ramona. Finish the story is Thomas Duarte was the young man's name. As you get a look at the catch by McDowell as he goes down. And I'm standing about the 30-yard line. The play's starting back at the 20-yard line on the other side. And I was talking to somebody else, and I looked down, and I looked up, and the guy in about 5 seconds had run 40 yards. It was crazy how fast these guys were.
Did you get hit?
No, I didn't get hit. But I'm just saying, it's a shock. It's like when you're standing on the sidewalk and like a truck barrels by or a motorcycle. You're like, how fast? But that's something that's motor generated. That's a motor. A human being running with that's crazy.
Hey, have you ever been to a NASCAR event?
I've not.
Okay. I've been to one time. I was working with Harupa Valley. I was working at a snack bar at the raceway out here in Fontana. I stood on the fence thinking I could watch the cars go by.
Oh, no.
They were it was a blur. I couldn't see anything. And then I had to realize that you could only see them on the back stretch. And I've never been to a NASCAR race since.
From the 45, it's 1st down.
Too loud. Too fast.
Ramos will step up, throw the ball down the middle of the field. He's got Juju. Julian Sandoval with the touchdown. Ramos with a clutch play. 31-26, Sandoval to pay dirt.
Oh, is there a flag? There's a flag.
Flag on the play. Looks like it's coming back. Oh, it is a touchdown. Okay. Again, personal foul after the play on the defensive team. Targeting. Wow. So a 45-yard touchdown strike from Ramos. And, when I talked to Travis Carter, he said, that Matt Ramos, he's a gamer. One of those guys that shows up on game day. Sandoval reels it in. Touchdown, Hillcrest. So they'll go for 2 here.
There's the 3. Hey, there's still some time here.
Well, they'll have to do the onside kick. No timeouts left. But here we go. Let's make it interesting. That's what Travis Carter's saying. Nguyen split out to the far side. Trips to the near side. Sandoval, Shaw, McDowell. Throw to that side. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Nice play over there by Isaac Mata. And the 2-point conversion fails, so they were looking for Sandoval there. 50 seconds left. Now, the clock's not supposed to tick, by the way. That's an extra point.
It is.
That's no time supposed to come off, and the Hillcrest guys are doing the clock, so find that interesting. So here we go. Can they get the onside kick and set it up for a Hail Mary? Now, I know what you want. You're hoping for the fair catch field goal thing.
I would love it.
How cool would that be? It's been a good one.
Oh, it's been a classic here on Riverside TV from the Rams. And the Trojans.
So about 130 yards through the air for Matthew Ramos, including that 45-yard touchdown pass to Julian Sandoval.
Oh, here it is. Remember, they got to move it up because of the personal foul.
Oh, this is okay. So this will help them if they can recover it. So here we go. We may have one of those fantastic finishes, Jeff. The ball will be kicked off from the 45-yard line of Ramona. The targeting foul tacked on. So here we go. Adan Alegria will set up the onside kick. Hands team on for Ramona. Everybody knows what's coming. Here we go. Squibber. Barrios handles it for Ramona.
I heard a whistle before the kick, though.
We'll sort it out. Here comes James Schmidt.
Yeah, there's a flag then. I think it's gonna move up even further.
James Schmidt. They're gonna the clock didn't start. That's what it was. Clock never started. So James Schmidt going to restore order here.
I don't know if that's the call.
There's your guy, Kent Bukarau.
Let's see. Oh, so yeah, that's exactly what happened then.
Law and Order. High school football version. I'd make a joke about us. We're kind of both Lenny Briscoe. Kind of. The late James Orbach. Who's great in Crimes and Misdemeanors, if you ever watched that one.
Fantastic.
Sherry Orbach, sorry.
Sure, yes. I hear the train in the background.
Onside kick. Takes the bounce. Barrios goes up and gets it again. So Barrios has it, fields it at the 34-yard line, and Ramona will just have to kneel down. So I'm reading a great book. I just finished a book by Bob Glauber, the New York football writer, about the 80s in the NFL, about Bill Walsh, Joe Gibbs, and Bill Parcells. And they show the kind of the history of all three of those franchises before those coaches got there. And the big one, I don't know if you remember this one, but kind of what kind of started the Giants on their rebuild was a play where they had Larry Zonka fumble the ball. They were winning the game 17-13. He fumbled the ball late. Herman Edwards took it in for an Eagles victory. And to lose that way embarrassingly, not only that, to lose to the Eagles was kind of the final straw. And they brought in George Young, and he rebuilt that thing. But now they have the victory formation. That's the play that gave birth to the victory formation. 48 seconds left here, 31-26, and I think Ramona is just 2 kneel downs away from Ken Mashinsky and his 100th win. Now, you've known Coach Mush for a little bit. You're a Ramona alum.
I love Coach Mush.
What can you say about what he's done? Because I think when he got there, the Ramona program, I believe, had been in the playoffs, I think, 3 times in about the last 15 years. He's got them to the playoffs every year he's been there, and he's been to 2 CIF finals, and he's won a state championship.
Well, you can tell kids want to play for Ken Mashinsky. Kids don't leave Ken Mashinsky. They're a neighborhood school, and a lot like Ken Batdorf, he is developing players as freshmen, and it tells a lot about his coaching staff. It talks a lot about the character of the kids that he has in his program, and they just get better and better every year. You don't see a lot of drop-off. You see turnover with guys graduating and going on.
You don't see transfers coming in or going out. And kind of the same thing for Hillcrest. I think Travis Carter's done a good job.
Yes.
I think they're going to be a good team for a little bit. Here comes the second kneel down, and they won't need to snap it again. We had a really good football game, Jeff. 31-26. Ramona is going to be the victor. And congratulations, Ken Mashinsky, your 100th career victory as a football coach, the 61st here at Ramona. So Roger Morris says hello to you for 61 and 61. But how about that? You had Ken Batdorf in here earlier who has over 200 career wins. That's 100 for Coach Mush, and congratulations from us here. He's always great in cooperating with us. And Ramona goes to 3-0. A tough loss for Hillcrest, the late turnover, and then a near turnover that kind of set up that pick 6 by Jordan Daniel.
Yeah, just, it was great defense by Ramona. Couple mental mistakes by Hillcrest, but Ken Mashinsky, as we've seen him do year in, year out, just wins by being fundamentally sound and making the less mistakes, and that's what the big difference was tonight. They made fewer mistakes.
You talk about it every week, Jeff. You talk about, hey, mistakes, you know, and in a close game like this, those mistakes tend to be exacerbated. So 31-26, and it was a tough second half, and the turnovers kind of were the difference for Ramona. They were able to close out this game 31-26. Game effort by Hillcrest. I think Nick is waiting for Ken Mashinsky. They'll talk to him. 100th career win for Mashinsky, 26 at King, 13 at Beckman, and now his 61st at Ramona. Give me some thoughts. I know you're going to have an emotional morning tomorrow, but you and Ken have become friends. What do you feel about his 100th victory?
I'm just proud of him. I mean, you look at what he's done at Ramona. I mean, a lot like Tom Kraft. He brings culture and does everything well for his students. It's students first. Everything else is secondary. He's a father, he's a coach, and he's a mentor to all of these young men. And they're going to go on and be successful no matter what because of his tutelage.
Nicholas Rice, take it away.
All right, Gazal, I actually learned something today. Ken had no idea this was his 100th career win. Your thoughts?
It's awesome. You know, obviously cool achievement for me, but it's not about me. It's about these guys back here, them fighting. It was just a great win. Great comeback win.
Happy for you, Coach. It was looking pretty rough in the second half. You guys were down. What are your thoughts of the resilience of your football team?
Well, you know, 1 and 3 back there just do such a great job offensively, and they're so well coached and pretty balanced. The guy can run and throw. Our defense gave up a little bit first half, but they really came back. You know, that pick by, I think it was Jordan Daniel, running it back, it was huge. I think that really changed the momentum in our game. And, you know, again, it was a great high school football game and a great atmosphere. We're really pleased to come away with that win.
I'm sure you guys are pleased. Last week, Sincere Tolbert was the guy, and really most of last year, tonight it was really a team win for you guys.
Yeah, it was. You know, and we preached all week teamwork and stop being unselfish, and it really showed out here. Kids played through cramps and through a little bit of hurts, and we talked a lot about that. So I'm really proud of our kids, and it's a great win for the program.
And it's got to feel a little better for you, or maybe worse, I don't know, winning against the guy on the other side.
Well, you know, Travis Carter, he's a great coach, but even more important, you know, he was one of my first quarterbacks when I was the head coach at King, and it's always fun to come out here and play against Travis and his coaching staff, and he has a great team, and they're gonna be very good this year.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Best of luck. All right. Well, Emmanuel, the other guy on our crew, was talking about the momentum, and Ken Mashinsky brought it up too. Here's a look at Emmanuel, the 4th member of our crew. Good job from everybody all the way around, and a big Ramona win tonight.
31-26, the final. Ramona goes to 3-0, 9th straight win for the Rams, going back to last year's playoff run. We talked a lot about Ken Mashinsky. If you're Travis Carter and the head coach of the Trojans, what are you saying in the locker room, Jeff?
Well, you know, this isn't a league game, so you got to look at it that way. The one downside is you're going to say, hey, this game could have easily gone our way. It was just, you know, handling the football. Like I said, mistake-free football will cost you a win, and mistake will also cost you a loss. So tough loss for Hillcrest. I'm sure they're going to learn a lot from this. We know he does a great job, just like Ken Mashinsky does. But Hillcrest, hey, they've got a daunting task coming up here. They've got a brand-new league. They can do some damage. I think Hillcrest could be that dark horse that can move very deep into the playoffs if they can get in.
The Rams 3-0, Hillcrest 2-1 in week 2 here of the season here in the city of Riverside. Great. What I loved is the atmosphere was great tonight. 2 Riverside teams playing a tremendous high school football game, and Ramona coming out on top 31-26. So the master beat the apprentice tonight because he was able to channel the powers of the dark side, Jeff. And I know you're pure Jedi, your kids are pure Jedi. I'm telling you, there's something to that dark side. We need to explore it as we go a little bit further.
I love it. Anytime we can bring up some Star Wars reference, it makes some fun.
Thanks to all of you for joining in. For Jeff Gorham, for Nick Rice, for our entire award-winning Riverside TV crew, my name's Ghazal Hassan. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. We got RCC and Long Beach State, but the final here from Arlington High School, Ramona 31, Hillcrest 26. Until tomorrow, so long, everybody.